Hello, everybody. Welcome, guys. Welcome. It's a Wednesday. It is a Wednesday. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Today we're gonna be continue playing Tiny Bunny, a Russian horror visual novel. Goal is to finish chapter 2 and start chapter 3. There is 5 chapters. Each chapter is roughly 2.5 hours long, and so far we've been having a lot of fun to get everyone on the same page. What happened in the story so far? Basically, we are a simple family. Our main protagonist his name is Anton, and he has a sister named Olya, and then we have mom and dad. Mom and dad are going through a rough patch right now because our dad was an accountant who did shady things, shady business. Because of that, we have to move out into the deep village. And it is like kind of hard for us to get good in the village as a kid. We don't have any friends. All our friends are in the city. We don't have enough funds, enough money. And we feel like because of us, how spoiled we were, our parents trying to get a divorce. But during the stay in the village, we do notice some strange things. We notice that our little sister Olya sees every night an owl in the window, and this owl is trying to, like, maybe to kidnap her and do something else. But one day we also see outside our window strange shadowy figures dancing in the snow. We don't know what's happening out, but we found out that at the same night a kid disappeared named Vova. We are trying to find the kid to get a reward to help out the police. With the reward we will get money, and the money will be used to help out our family, getting back together, help out our sister. That's our goal. And during this whole story, we met a strange girl who was wearing a mask of a fox so we thought. But there was something strange and uneasy about her. After the meeting with this strange-looking girl, Alina, we called her, we got to school. In the school, we are getting bullied by Simeon. Simeon is unhappy. Simeon is going through some stuff. He beat me up. We beat him. Now he's trying to get his revenge with his little friends. She's waiting outside the school for us. At the same time, we meet another girl, a friend, maybe possibly more. We meet Palina. Palina is a cute, pretty little girl who is a violinist, who plays violin and goes to school and asks us if you might come with her after school to help you out to get to home. And right now we're at the point to decide which storyline we're gonna continue, the mysterious fox or the interesting girl in our class. We wanna experience the mystery or find a new friend. That's where we stopped yesterday. My initial instinct, right, was Paulina, because we would have then a friend, and I think that's smart. We would have a friend, we would go back home, and we would like have normal adventures, I guess. But also, if we think about Anton and his like goal, why he wanna find Vova is so he can get funds to help out the family. To do that, we need to go into the scary forest. Hi Savage, I got 19k. Haha, congrats. So yeah, I don't know yet what I'm gonna pick. One side, feel like it's most logical to try to get the friend for life. The other side is the mystery, the spookiness. So that's hard for me to decide. Because I actually don't think that we will get any rewards if we try to find a Vova, and I don't think they will pay some money for that as well. I don't think that money will solve the situation. I also kind of feel like we were imagining things because of the stress since we're so young and we're like going through some stuff right now. So I don't think it's like doing us any favor. So I don't know what to pick, honestly. I do not know what to pick. It's like a thing I don't know. There's so many like questions I have so far. But yeah, I've been like thinking the whole day which path to go, because this is like literally one thing that will decide this stuff. And I don't really know so far what would be like the true ending of the story. But I gravitate towards the fox at the moment, because I kind of want to find out a little bit more spookiness, find out about the dancing shadow figurines. I feel like Paulina is like an alternative story that will have like different things to do. Hello Ziggy, have a nice stream. Hi son. Go work, what are you doing here? Go work. Welcome in though. Yeah, I feel like I should maybe go with the fox. Yeah, the fox was cool. She was amazing. I don't know, man. I think we need to start the game. That's what I think. I shouldn't be here, but you need your daily blessings. Oh my god. Yep. Oh boy. Yeah, Sana, go work. Go log in. Don't spend your time here. You need to log in. Go log in. Log the heck in. Don't spend time here. I'm logging in. Bye. Wait, I just needed to readjust some stuff. Yeah. I don't know, man, what to put. What to pick. I kind of want to go. I don't know. Yeah, let's go with the fox. I feel like the fox is the way to go. I feel like the fox is way to. I feel like the fox is way to go. I mean, we could like save it afterwards and maybe replay it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Let me know if you can hear the audio or any issues. But yeah. Let's go here. So here we can choose like we're gonna go with Alisa or Polina. I would like to save. Let's save. But maybe let's make it like what's the last save that we can do? No, wait. Maybe it's the easiest way to go. Completely back, like number 1. Let's save it to number 1. Yeah. Cause yeah, let's do that and go with Alisa again. Yeah, let's go with Alisa. After closing my backpack, I ran down the stairs. Adventure. I scanned my surroundings through the window in the main hall. Nobody suspicious inside. The school doors creaked. The sound was similar to the music from the thriller, the high note that came before an intense scene. I ran around the school corner trying to not catch anyone's attention. The smell of pastry and burnt sugar wafted from the school cafeteria. I froze when I saw a silhouette in the second floor window. It must be Polina, grinding a bow on a violin string with her head slightly tilted to the side. I wish I could hear the melody she plays, but Polina was only a dark outline on the window's yellow sheet. I dragged my feet forward. Yeah, we're gonna go to mystery path. Цой жив. Страх, победа, правда. Здесь был Пяша. The net on a football goal in the yard fluttered in the wind. The same wind that hurled small white whirlwinds through the field. Somewhere nearby, an invisible tractor was humming, scaring away the crowd of crawling birds. The hum of its engine sounded like the howl of hungry beasts that chased me through the snowy desert. Alisa and her scary mask also came to mind. Right now, in the light of day, it was really hard to believe she was real. What did she say back then? At the backyard near the hanged man. Oh, okay, it's this display. What did she mean by that? What is this? I used syringe among the cigarettes butts. I hope somebody just needed an insulin shot. I don't think so. Fortunately not.
Извините.
Excuse me. Celia turned around the corner and walked deeper into the dead end, leaving cigarette smokes in its wake. It was an adult, a teacher maybe. She disappeared. A forest squirrel chomping on sunflower seeds. Someone from the school is probably feeding her. Interesting. Interesting. I like the music. I looked at the wall. There was a hanged man drawn onto the thin black line of resin. Someone played the hangman here. Something was scribbled on the bottom side of the man. Escape via the truth.
Ближе, мой сладкий.
Come closer, sweetheart. It took me a while to realize where the sound was coming from. My eyes strolled through the cul-de-sac at the school backyard. through windows in snow. Examine. One of the snow piles started trembling like a volcano before it erupts.
Отдай свое сердце!
Give me your heart. It was scary. In the blink of an eye, the white crust crumbled, and a fox jumped at me. She made a gracious bow, enjoying the effect her appearance had on me. The silver of snow shined on her coat. I couldn't even imagine that thinking about girls with tails can be this. I don't know what to compare it to. Our Anton discovers the beautiful world of furries. Something infectious, toxically sweet.
Отпор не дал, сердце потерял.
Fight back or your heart is in my back. She giggled so enthusiastically that it forced me to smile.
Да ну тебя!
Ah, come on. Quickly rolled a ball of snow and threw it at Alisa. She tried to dodge it, but it was too late. I hit to the shoulder.
Ох ты ж! Гадкий мальчишка!
Ah, you insolent boy.
Да, вот такой я!
Yeah, that's me. The fox slowly backed down, trying to arm herself.
Ты хитер, да мы хитрей!
You're a sly, but I am a fox.
Ловок ты, да мы ловчей! Ха!
I think out of the box. Her retribution was swift. A snowball arched its way above the snowy yard, and the ravens flying in the air. I wanted to duck, but slipped and fell to my knees. Ow. And while I was getting up, I caught a huge chunk of snow with my fence. It burned up from the cold. Boom. I swore loudly from immense disappointment,
Блять!
using the word I heard in Sector Gaza's song and the cassette I hid from my parents. Sector Gaza is like a rock band, a Soviet and Russian rock band, and they played that so-called kolkhoz, hillbilly punk founded by songwriter Yuri Klishkin. The band often paid homage to popular Western rock bands that used a lot of profanity and fairy tale themes in the lyrics. Supposedly died from overdosing on drugs. If Dad heard this, he would be definitely give me a good whooping. He had very low tolerance toward obscene words and always communicated in a clean Russian.
Да ладно тебе!
Oh, come on.
Не больно же совсем.
It can't hurt that much. I like this. I like this art style. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? I like grayscale. You know, look at this. It's a cool mask. She brushed off my boot as if it's no compassion, took me by the elbow and helped me get up. With care, a characteristic for a child, she took off my glasses, blew away the snowflakes that were stuck to them, and handed them back.
Вот так. 1-1, Тоша.
No, we're even, Tosha. Look at this, it's so beautiful. I like the texture, like you can see the brush strokes. So cool. Only people who were close to me called me that. And I haven't even seen her real face. I don't know her last name, what class she was from, and if she had a real tail under her coat. What's this our obsession with the tail?
Желаешь отыграться?
I want to get ahead.
Мы хотели поискать Вову, помнишь?
We were going to look for Wawa, remember?
Лучше поторопиться, а то меня родители станут искать.
We'd better hurry before my parents start looking for me. The fox let out a lazy yawn.
Родители.
Parents.
Как скучно.
That
Да
we...
не будь ты таким занудой.
Don't be so boring.
Давай чуть-чуть поиграем.
Let's play for a
Всё равно
bit.
тебе дома тоскливо.
You're always bored at home, anyway.
А ты откуда знаешь?
And how do you know it?
Тоже мне тайна.
It's not even a secret.
Со взрослыми да в 4 стенах. Тоска смертная.
It's all...
Всегда.
It's always too boring being locked up in a house full of adults. Yep.
У меня от стены взрослых нервный тик. Вот.
I get all jittery from both houses and parents. See? A furry fox brow started twitching. I thought a laugh in reply, unsure whether being able to move part of her mask like that was genuinely funny or not.
Ну же, Тоша, решайся.
Come on, Tosha, don't be scared.
Я же вижу, ты хочешь поиграть.
I can see you want to play.
Если победишь...
And if you win... Foxgirl got dangerously close to me and stood on her tippy toes, almost touching my face with her rough little nose. Playful fire stands deep in her eyes. She smelled nice, like berries. And sarchane in sarchane. No idea what that means. And is this the smell of independence and the true freedom? I mean the kind where all you have to do in your life is run wild and eat sweets. A whisper poured into my ear like scalding hot water.
Если победишь, буду твоим провожатым.
If you win, I'll be your guide.
Поверь, мне есть что тебе показать.
Believe me, I have lots of things to show you.
Найдем твоего Вову.
We will surely find you, Vova, for one. I felt as if a giant invisible spring bent inside me. My tummy hurt, but the sensation was somehow not exactly unpleasant. It was so weird. I just had a conversation with Polina, and now Alisa was going to drag me along with her.
А если проиграю?
And what if I lose?
Душу из тебя выцарапаю, неженка.
I'll claw out your soul, Softie. Oh my gosh.
Давай, скорей.
Come on, let's go. She burst out laughing and whipped the hem of her coat and ran toward the road we used to come to school in the morning. Her promise. That sounded almost like a threat. Hypnotized me. Yeah, kinda suspicious. But we risked it for the biscuit. I bent down and scooped up some snow. I wished I had a device that could tell me whether Alisa was joking or being serious. Or is it there was a third option with people like her? Between her jokes, her laughter, and her hot breath on my ear, I wanted to win. Punish her for the lightness and freedom she possessed, that be clearly too much for an average girl. When I, on the other hand, was possessed, or rather intoxicated by the thirst for adventure by my curiosity. Just like that time we ate cherries from Mom's Nalivka and lied down with my eyes closed while the bed was sipping underneath me. Nalivka, a sweet alcoholic drink made from fruits and berries, often called berry vodka. It normally contains only 25 to 30% alcohol. Nalivka. I spat and cleaned my lips. Do you want to play Little Sister Fox? Well, then let's play. I armed myself with a snowball and chased the fleeing fox girl. I saw a familiar street with a wooden post that didn't look scary anymore. They were just logs covered in snow. If I were to shout now, the guard dogs would start barking and the owner would peek out of the window. Alisa's Malciolate was mocking me from far away, so it was useless to try hitting her with a snowball from now. Waste of ammunition. Bridges, mutilated by the cold, peeked out of view along the clear road. A giant snow pile towered near one of these trees. This was probably the place where the tractor brought all the snow from the village. A whole family of foxes would fit in such a pile. No, I thought, she's the only fox around here. She alone is already too much. My second morning acquaintance was running around near the edge of the forest, the stray dog with a mangy tail. She sniffed around and marked the naked berry bushes and ran toward the other ones. Alicia shot out from under the hill.
Жулька! За мной, девочка!
Julka, follow me, girl. The dog ears perked up and barked in agreement and followed her lead. We ran farther and farther, exchanging snowballs and laughing and stumbling. The winter forest towered in front of us, reaching from the low clouds. We were in the edge of its shadows, bony and almost corporeal. The fox hid behind a huge pine, clearly trying to get close to me and shove me some snow down my collar. It was a good plan, but Julka, who was running circles around her, gave her away. I broke off and I bridge and decided to act even trickier. Ooh. We decided to act even quicker. Be a little bit tricky, true. It's good, just good. I put my head on it and picked it from the side of the pine. I'll make her think that it's my head. I bit my lip to stop myself from laughing, then jumped out from the other side and performed a point-blank throw. Alisa probably cracked my plan right away, but still let me win 3-1. I was wounded in the leg and she got shot in the chest and in the stomach, losing imaginary blood in the front of my eyes. Pleading for mercy, while also choking from laughter.
Молюсь, жалься!
Hahaha, please, mercy.
Выбираю!
Haha, I'm dying.
Да все, живи!
Okay, I let you live. Thank you,
Спасибо, добрый рыцарь!
O valiant knight. She pretended to bow to me, then grabbed 2 full handloads of snow and, like a dying warrior, threw them my way in a last-ditch effort. So cool, I would done the same thing. I dodged her attack easily, laughing uncontrollably and being mad at the same time. I finished her with 2 precise shots.
Живи!
You let me live with her?
Научил бы меня жить, раз умный такой.
Learn me how to do it, if you're so smart.
Молчи, ты умерла уже!
Shut up, you're already dead.
Тоже мне помеха.
What? Ha, when did that stop me?
Давай сыграем в кое-что поинтереснее.
Oh, stop getting fancy here. Let's play something more interesting. She dashed behind the trees after blowing snow in my direction.
Раз, два, прилети, сова.
1, 2, time to play with you.
3, 4, 5, время поиграть.
3, 4, 5, the all will arrive. I hesitantly moved toward the windfall.
6, да, 6, дыбом волчья шерсть.
6 on end, the wolf's grey fur will stand. I thought it was a real tail gliding across the bushes. I rushed to the intertwined branches that helped Alisa to hide as if something was pulling me there. I had to move them, tear them off like spiderweb. Branches sprang back in my face, but it felt like they were caressing my cheeks and not hitting them. I was sweating, but still had a lot of stamina left. I'll make sure to catch you, little fox. Alisa's voice was wandering among the windfall.
7, 8, бьем копытом озимь.
7, 8, stomp your hooves and wait.
А я тебя недооценила.
Seems like I underestimated you.
Думала, ты просто мальчик.
I thought you were just a boy. I'm more. I'm a VTuber on the internet. Confident that she was behind the dry pine, I rushed to intercept her. But the local acoustics tricked me. Her voice was already echoing from the other side. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but the voice actress who plays, I believe, Alina and Polina, and probably even, I believe, the mother, is a Russian VTuber. Her name is Trixie, and she does a lot. She's like amazing, talented voice actress. So she does also VTubing as well. I don't know if I mentioned that to you yesterday, guys, but yeah. I'm right now trying to open a bottle of water, but it doesn't even opening. Okay, finally I opened a freaking bottle of water. I hate these Europe laws where they need to have a specific type of bottle cap. It's just so unpleasant. But the local acoustics struck me. Her voices was already echoing from the other side.
А ты зайчик!
Oh my god. And you're a bunny. We're the tiny bunny. Like Savage told.
Шустренький, хорошенький!
So nimble, so cute. Ha 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 ha. A snowball fell at me from the shadows, whistling near my ear.
Я тебе дам, зайчик!
I'll show you a bunny.
Дай мне зайчика, дай!
Yeah, do that. Show me. A bright fox fur coat flashed near a rotten stump. I rushed there, jumped over a ravine.
Зайчик, выходи скорей! Мясом накорми зверей!
Bunny, show yourself. Be brave. Give the beast fresh meat they crave. This fur collar that flashed from every tree was the most important thing in the world for me. My lips started trembling as if I was a cowboy that was chasing his prey. One jumped and the fox was in my embands, so smooth, desirable.
Ой, все, ты победил!
Fine, 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 you win. He leaned against the scratchy bark and started puffing.
Пожалуйста, давай немного отдохнем.
Please, let's have a break.
Ты слишком быстрый, слишком сильный, лакомый, слишком.
Lol, thanks I guess. You're too fast, too strong, too tasty. Time to save. Satisfied, I put my hands on my side, waiting for the spoils of war from the defeated girl. But when I got... That was a sly snowball in my smug face. Cunning fox ran away, roaring with a laughter, but I wasn't even mad about it. I needed to catch up to Alisa, to tackle and subdue her. Tear off her mask and see everything.
Бедный зайчик прыгает
Poor little bunny jumps around
возле мокрых сосен.
in the wet pine forest,
Страшно в лапы волку, серому попасть.
afraid of getting eaten by the big grey wolf,
Думает о лете, прижимает уши.
thinking of hot summer, keeping his ears low.
На небо косится, небо не видать.
Sneaking glances at the hidden sky. The sky really did disappear under the trees. I moved using the barking of Julka as a guide, and she was closely following her owner. And it was getting closer, and I was getting closer. The same trail I imagined back at school blinked under my feet. Turned out that running like there's no tomorrow was so easy. Faster, higher, faster. Felt like there was a well of untapped potential inside me. I drew from it. My muscles were buzzing, my lungs felt bigger, and I felt much stronger overall. Even my vision became sharp. I saw every icy branch, every dent in the bark. Something colorful was lying near the bushes, a piece of clothing. Another colorful spot into the right. Lisa was losing her clothes on the run, like shedding her skin. I also used my teeth to take off my mittens, excited by all that. That's kinda strange. I'll get naked and I fell all the way into the last drop. Faster. I reached out to take off my hat, to throw away everything that stops me from running wild in the endless forest. The backpack slowed me down, so I threw it in the snow, along with all the pens that were inside, with all the notebooks, all of my drawings on the sidelines, and the dinosaur for Olya. Olya. Suddenly a clear picture appeared in my mind. My sister standing still near a window, basking in the disking sun. The small childish palms are pressed to the glass, leaving marks when they warmed it up. She could warm up the whole world like that. She looked at the taiga and sang my name.
Тоша!
Tosha. I stopped, took a deep breath, and realized how rash and stupid I was trying to undress in the middle of the forest while chasing a fox. I returned to get my backpack. As if it was a part of my being, I dropped. I remembered again how my sister didn't like to be left home alone, how she asked me to come home faster. What kind of broda am I? Running in the forest that I used to scare my sister with. I'm having fun while she's not even allowed over the doorstep, sit in your cage earlier and watch the same cartoons over and over.
Тоша!
Tosha.
Да, Оленька.
Yes, Olya.
Тоша, а куда?
Tosha, where are you? Where are you hopping to, fucker? From the darkness behind the pines, just like the caveman from the cave, appeared smirking Simon with a bunch of his cronies. So basically this dude was bullying us yesterday, and we punched him, and now we got deal with him again.
Ну, здорово, Антошка.
Yo, Antashka.
Не вышло сдрыснуть, да?
Thought you could slip away, huh?
Очкарик, выпиварик на...
Check out this four-eyes freak, eh? They surrounded me like a carnival sprite, making me step back. The smell of sweat and tobacco attacked my nostrils. The inside of my mouth felt salty as if I had licked battery.
Алиса!
Lisa. The name of my companion turned into a stifled cough. Pines were swinging back and forth like solemn gardens. I was frantically looking everywhere. I dreamt of fighting the fox among the trees, expect her to come to my rescue. But only the wind replied to my pleas.
Где Алиса?
Where's Alisa?
Что вы с ней сделали?
What do you do to her? Short after hearing my own words. Sounded unnatural, rough and scary.
Какая еще Алиса?
Who the fuck is Alisa?
У тебя чё, кукуха поехала?
Did you hit your head or what?
Не ссы, ща вмиг вылечим.
Whatever, we'll fix it right up. Fatso spit through the gap in his teeth and pushed me so hard that I hit my back against a tree.
Ну как, полегчало?
So, feeling better now? Can't be. Did Alisa really lure me into this trap? To these bastards? Dude. No, I can't believe this.
Глядите-ка, пацаны, а здесь он не такой борзый, как в школе.
Look here. Guys, he's not that brave as compared to school.
Ага, вылитый терпиловна.
A total wimp, eh?
Ты, сука, приезжая,
You-
не на того руку поднял.
You fucked up with the wrong guy, transfer student. Simon was moving toward me, readying his fist. In that moment, the other delinquent in the track pants made a loud whistle and the hulking boy lowered his hand. It was unexpected, seems like Baburin wasn't the leader of this gang. In reality, they were all listening to the boy who was looking like a small carnivore with very strong and sharp teeth. Probably decide to have some fun at my expense first.
Слышь, Гондон Батькович,
Hey, Junior,
это что ли твоя Алиса?
is this your Alisa? Only then I noticed Julka beside my leg, trembling from the cold snow plastered all over its fur. The delinquent squatted in front of the dog and beckoned on it with his hands.
Ой ты, батюшки.
Oh my.
Алиса, ко мне, сучка блохастая.
Come here, you flea-ridden bitch. The others let out a nasty laugh. Dog's ears perked up and she started carefully moving closer.
Иди сюда. Иди, дам кое-чего.
Yo, come here, I've got something for you. The dog didn't even have a chance to sniff him when this animal abuser caught it by the ear and kicked it right under the tail so hard it flew into the nearest snow pile, squealing. The whole gang burst out laughing, and my heart got encrusted in ice. Even the birds that were perched up on tree branches let out frightened cries. At the edge of my vision, I saw something flash in the illusory twilight of the sleeping forest. Or were they just bushes moving their icy branches in the wind?
Ромка, она ж больше срать не сможет.
Romka, it won't be able to shit after this.
Давай теперь я.
Let me kick that fucking thing one more time.
Второй раз ебану минус на минус даст.
2 negatives will make a positive. But the stray was already nowhere to be seen.
Чего ты, баран?
What? Are you an idiot?
Втолкуй его на очкарику, где его место.
Go and show the Four Eyes his place.
Только так, чтобы он понял.
In a way he'll understand.
Ага, за ним кофякна.
He'll fucking owes you.
Этот очкарик тебе при всем классе всек.
This wimp walked here in the front of the whole class. Hi, Star. How you doing? Why didn't it work out? I don't know. How you doing, Star? We're playing a spooky game. Welcome in. Welcome. Welcome. Everything broke. I love it. I do love that. Oh, everything broke. Yeah, I need to be careful what I read because something is a little bit dangerous to say on stream. I guess we made it right in time. Exactly. How you doing? Are you feeling the Christmas spirit in your veins?
Да без Б.
Sure thing. Simon brought a sizable signet ring with some geometric shape carved in it all up my face. I am good, how are you? And Mary Chrysler. I'm doing great. I'm having fun. Had good food, feeling comfy, playing spooky game. What else do you want from life, you know?
Ща, парашник, я тебе этой печаткой так заряжу. Клеймо на всю жизнь останется.
In a moment, I'll hit your face so hard it'll leave a mark for the rest of your life. Where did all of my inner strength and bravery go?
Стой!
Stop! A whizzing whisper left my lips and my head tilted forward, hitting Simon's fist. Red sparks flew from my eyes. What you eating? I had like some dumplings and a little bit of fried chicken. Pretty nice food. And then I had like the best breakfast. Like it was omelette. Chef's kiss. Omelette with a little bit cheese and a few sausages. It was amazing. Bonk.
Бяша, подсоби!
Biasha, give me a hand. Simon gave me a rough push toward the bastard with the slanting eyes, and he tripped me. I fell on the sharp crust of ice, and the pretzel stepped on my hand, preventing me from getting up. A painfully groan escaped my throat.
Слыхали, как заныл?
Did you hear him whimper?
А ты случаем не педик?
Is he actually or something? I started to lose breath from anger and resentment. The pain was growing. My ear was hot and pulsing pain was shooting through it, like it was cut off and a pile of metal was sewn in this place.
Че молчишь, Антошка?
Why so silent, Antoshka?
Отвечай, ты педик?
Come on, tell us, are you? This moment I felt pure unblemished rage, the amalgamation of my anger. Like this pellet's ink, it rose up from depths of my mind, filling it all my thoughts.
Твари!
Morons,
Знаете, что мой
did you know
отец
that my dad
тот педик?
is also a... Simon burst out laughing. This became the last straw. Fear and anger were grappling inside me like mad
Он
dogs.
айкидо занимался. Поняли?
He knows Aikido, got
Он
it.
еще воевал.
And he's a vet.
Таких, как вы, с закрытыми глазами убивает.
He'll kill likes of you with his eyes closed.
Я только слово скажу, он...
One word from me and he'll... Romka lifted up his arm, stomped my torrent of flies, and made a couple of steps forward. Simon slowly backed off, giving me an opportunity to stand up. Did he believe me? Or was he confused by my face, twisted with rage?
Воевал, говоришь?
A vet, you say?
Мой батя тоже воевал.
My dad also fought in the war,
В Афгане.
in Afghan.
А твой?
And yours?
И мой.
Mine too.
Да, и в каких войсках, интересно?
Oh really? And what forces did he serve in? I stumbled, fear chopped at my rage's throat and made it bleed.
Да он фуфло гонит, Ромка.
He's full of shit, Romka.
Бля, будуна.
Sure as fuck, eh?
Думал, меня так просто развести?
Do you think I'm so easy to trick?
Я тебя, сучонка, насквозь вижу.
Can see through all of your lies, little bitch. There was a nasty smile on his face now. It didn't bode well for me.
Ты сам себе приговор
Well,
подписал.
you ask for this.
В школе тебя училка спасла, ну а теперь все.
A teacher saved you at school, but here... Hehehehe.
Хана тебе.
You're fucked.
Во-во.
That's right.
Давай, Антошка. Молись, чтобы твой труп по весне нашли мне.
Pray that they find your dead body come spring, eh?
Сидел бы ниже травы, был бы целочкой.
If you only stayed silent, wouldn't have lost a hair.
Жирного стукнул одно дело.
Hitting a fatso is one thing,
Но про Афган пиздеть, где мой батя под пулями. Долг интернациональный. В Даште Марго, блядь.
but fucking around with the stuff like Afghan, where my dad spent time under fire on international duty in a fucking Dashta Margan. What's Dashta Margan? Dashta Margan, a desert region in southern province of Homeland in Humus, Afghanistan. Its name can be translated in plain of death. During the conflict of Afghanistan, the Soviet army destroyed countless drug caravans headed to Iran there. Oh.
Сёма.
Give him a
уж
good
атакой.
pounding, Sema. The delinquents closed in me again and I ended up in front of Sema. Blood was pumping in my temples. Branches were swaying back and forth as if it whispering something, giving me hope. I gritted my teeth, fighting the tough that I looked silly and took up boxing stance I often saw in the movies.
Хера ты, Майк Тайсон.
What, are you fucking Mike Tyson? This was my first ever fight. I'll remember it from the rest of my life, if I don't kick the bucket, of course. At the edge of my vision, I noticed the darkness written again, as if someone was walking back and forth there. I sensed Roma's claws grab my backpack.
Манатки, Антошка.
Give me your shit, Roma. Aha, Antoshka.
Махаться мешает.
It'll get in the way. I was about to refuse and willing to come with the bastard, but then he fished a butterfly knife off his pocket with a smooth motion, spun as if shoving off, and put the blade to my neck.
Слышь, Фрей, расслабься, а то больно будет.
Hey, easy buddy, I can make it painful. I let out a cloud of steam instead of words. Romko pulled with all his might and my backpack ended up in his hands. Calm and relaxed. An insidious smile on his face. He looked at my
Ты
backpack.
от нас что-то скрываешь, да?
Are you hiding something from us? Some rat
У меня
stole
в
my
школе
skull
какая-то
shoes.
крыса сменку подрезала. Ща поглядим,
Let me
может,
see
это
if it
был-
was... Oh, what's this?
Опачки!
Romko gave me to be a smile.
Так-так,
So what do we
а
have
что
here?
это у нас здесь?
My text notebooks fell in the snow. He was holding my backpack in one hand and something weird on the other. Looked like... mask. Oh. Roma lifted it high as if showing it to someone else, to someone in the tree tops, in the twilight among the trees. An old bunny mask. Long worn out, ears, barely visible nose, and whiskers. Mangy fur on the sides. Where did it come from? Who put it in there? Simon laughed.
Новый год уже прошел, мудила.
It's way past New Year's, Maron.
Или ты реально поехавший?
Or I really a loony.
Это не мое.
It's not mine.
Да как не твое, В твоем портфеле лежала она.
How come it's not yours? It was in your backpack. Romka was watching the scene unfold with an evil smile on his face.
А знаешь что?
You know what?
Надевай.
Put it on.
Зачем?
Why?
Надевай, говорю.
Because I'm telling you to.
Попрыгаешь перед...
You hop like a bunny for us.
Давай, давай.
Yeah, come on, come on.
Или без штанов домой пойдешь на.
Oh, we leave you pantless, eh? Anything but this. But if someone from the class will pass by,
Надену.
I won't.
Сёма, надень-ка на него.
Toma, put it on him. Yasha rushed into his friend's side and took the worn-out mask from him with a buffoonish bow. Then he passed it to Syoma, who was already rubbing his ass in anticipation. I looked around the pine woods, as if I were waiting for help, as if its shadows that writhed around us would take pity on me and take my side. Branches looked like arms twisted in unusual angles. Blackened bark was their charred skin, and their darkness was the smoke they produce. I can't run, won't get away, they'll catch me. And then,
Только учти, Сёма,
let me warn you, Syoma.
если он скакать не станет, ты сам за него
If
поскачешь.
he won't hop, you'll take his place, got it?
Этот чмошник и не станет.
This piece of shit won't?
Да погляди на него, он же дурик конченый.
Just look at him, he's a total loony.
Этот дурик тебе уже раз в жбан зарядил.
This loony had already smacked you in the face.
Ромка прав.
Romka is right.
Давай, толстый.
Come on, Fatso. Assault your fucking dominance.
Или сам у нас запрыгаешь так, что тетяндра отцепится.
Or we'll make you hop so hard your pig tits will fall off. You must indeed be scared of Romka. Simon swore silently and glared at me.
Вот.
Here.
Это чтобы маска хорошо налезла.
It will be better this way. He hurled a huge pile of spit in the inside of the plastic bunny face mask and put it close to my. His spit looked like a squashed spider. Romka face twisted his spasm like a beast, like he wanted to tell Simon something, but then he suddenly stopped. Simon was still close by with a disgusting smirk on his face and terrible smell coming from his mouth.
Надевай, быра!
Put on fast,
Натурою!
or you're dead. And the mask almost looked even more disgusting now, despite everything. I felt like it was a chance of salvation. It could become my second skin if I only was to put it on, if only my face was to touch its bumpy surface. I'm sure the fur will glitter, the ears will tremble like they're alive. I just need to put it on, and Simon and his friends will be gone forever. Okay, what the frick do I do? What the frick do we do? What the frick do we do, guys? What the frick do we do? Yeah. Oh, damn! I did not expect. That's crazy. Like the gang up on me. What can happen if I put it on? Like they're gonna make fun of me. Because if I tell them to fuck off, then they're gonna probably beat me up, right? Or if I put it on, they're gonna make fun of me. I don't know. Oh, yeah, man. Did I save? You know what? I feel like you're gonna tell them to fuck off. For some reason, Romka's disappointment with Simon's made me feel brave. Something was wrong in the crew, some old disagreement? I should cut this old wound open. I need to get into their heads, right into their skull. Their warm brains.
Знаешь что, Семен?
You know what, Simeon? My own voice, smooth and determined, was a huge surprise. I stepped forward and calmly proclaimed,
Иди нахуй.
"Fuck off." I felt like the whole world was paused for a second and then unpaused right away. Simon Popple's white and the mask fell out of his meaty hands. He took a while to process my words, looking stunned as if he was trying to solve a difficult math problem, but the answer made him mad, judging by the bulging veins on his forehead. The others just observed the scene silently, waiting for the inevitable payback. You...
Ты труп!
You're dead. His voice tore off icy crust from the nearby branches, rained down with a middle-turning laugh. And then I heard whispers from the treetops, from the holes in the ground, from animal liars. Liars? As if Alisa was one on the snow piles, like a prompter in his path, trying to get to me. With no sign of fear, rather with a tinge of playful rage. That's how this low hum sounded to me. Started into the clearing between the trees. An orange spot flashed there. A fox, an absolutely regular fox, stepped out of the bushes. I blinked in bewilderment. The animal fell on its tummy and was staring back at me with its burning eyes. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I know like there's visual novels. When you pick the wrong choice, you gonna die. Like you lose the game. And then feel like the mask would be like one of those situations where if I would pick the mask, I would probably lose and beat up to death or something like that. I don't know. So I'm happy about this. But again, this will be like one of those games where I second guess myself a lot. Portal was sweeping snow left and right, raising the white powder.
На меня смотри, падла!
Look at me, bitch. I was still looking past him at the fox that was smiling at me. She grinned with all her teeth while digging a hole. The snow pile moved her paws as if it's dancing. Her sharp face was covered in snow. Her whiskers were trembling. The fox put her face to the ground. Shining platters of her eyes filled up with the liquor quicksilver. I returned my gaze to Simon's twisted face. He was growling something unintelligible. The fox backpedaled and disappeared into the darkness. The forest breathed at me, whispering, "Hell. The pig. You shut up." I slapped my own cheek to chase away the unfamiliar face, but the message still lingered in my subconscious. This hint was my chance. I started intensely and Simon's nose, he was almost picking me, oinking from anger. I directed my words at him.
Заткнись, свинья!
"Shut up, pig." Simon looked paralyzed. As if with a medium outlet, Chukman hypnotized him, stripped him of his will. It was Alan Chukman. Alan Chukman, a Soviet and Russian TV personality that represented himself as a healer medium and claimed to acquire his healing power during his investigation into fake mages. He had invented the idea of charging all sorts of items for the viewers through their TV scene and just of water, photos, or cosmetic. Died from an unknown cause. I felt like the aftertaste of Alisa's goom in my mouth. Berries. I felt like I pulled card from some crazy deck and it turned out to be a trump. My brain was at its limit. Polina's words about Simon getting worse since he moved here flashed in front of my eyes like subtitles in a movie. All the pieces fell in place. My joker went flying into his pimply face. I was speaking slow on purpose, dragging out every syllable.
Есть у меня подозрение. Ты не просто так перевелся в новую школу.
I suspected you had a reason to transfer to another school.
Сбежал, да? Как крыса сбежал.
You fled, right? Fled like a rat.
Потому что сверстники бывают жестокими с теми, кто не такой, как они.
Because kids can be cruel with those who are different.
С теми, кто толще их, например. Слабее.
Or who's fatter, or weaker than them.
И ты решил издеваться над другими, как издевались над тобой.
So you decided to bully others, just like they bullied you. I saw Simon's Adam's apple twitch like it was a pump-action rifle getting reloaded.
Ты отыгрываешься за старые обиды.
You're trying to pay back for old wounds.
Хочешь казаться тем, кем не являешься.
You want to pretend that you are different now.
Но знаешь,
But you know what?
ничего не
Nothing
меняется
changed
по
at the
щелчку
snap of
пальца.
a finger.
Знаешь, кем ты был?
Should I tell you who you were? The forest held its breath, listening in fascination.
Знаешь, кто ты есть?
Should I tell you who you still are? Пацаны,
Пацаны,
guys.
еще как...
Bayasha was about to come to his friend's aid, but Romka stopped him, whipping out his controlling look. Bayasha turned around and put his hands in his pockets.
Продолжай, Тоха.
Go on, Tocha. Romka's word ricocheted from the rough trunks.
Знаешь, кем ты будешь всегда?
Should I tell you who you will always be? Simon looked around helplessly.
Второе имя, настоящее имя, которое дали тебе одноклассники.
Your second name, the true name that your classmates gave you.
Откуда?
Why do you? Romka and Biasha looked at Simon like he was the prey now. I even thought I saw them lick their parched lips. The wind was also full of anticipation, dragging my scattered textbook across the road.
Свинья!
Pig! My thunderous scream echoed through the forest. Trees and ravines enjoyed it. The echo repeated it over and over, doubling, even tripling it. Romka grinned with all his teeth. Simon Handel fell to his sides. He wanted on the brink of grind. I used this to my adventures. I threw the strongest punch I could, master. Holy shit. It was much stronger than the one in the school. No gain, no pain. I rammed my fist into his scarred face and it produced a cracking sound. His pimpled cheek danced like jelly under my fist. Simon let out a sigh and plucked to the icy road. He was touching the place where I hit him, still obviously to what just happened and how he did come to this. After looking at him for a while, I realized I was smiling. Fat Surat returned to his senses and threw himself at me, his face twisted with anger. But I dodged his charging quite easily after the great practice I had playing with Alisa. Oh, he fell in the shit! He fell into snow and landed right on a pile of dog feces. This made him squeal in agony.
Ай, красава, Тоха!
Ah, the boy, Tocha.
Думал, ты сосунок, а он как жердяй уделал.
I thought you were a wimp, but you've given the fatso a good whooping. Simon started sobbing after he realized the direness of his situation.
Сука!
Fuck.
Че я бабушке теперь скажу?
What will I say to grandma?
Она меня убьет, когда увидит.
She'll kill me when she sees this.
Чего ты там скулишь?
What are you whining about?
Тебя с параши не слышно.
Get your head out of her ass. Simon's futile attempts of cleaning his coat caused a fit of giddiness from Bayasha. I also smiled angrily, twisted my lips.
Мастёвина!
Lucky fucker, eh?
А ну вставай и скачи, как зайчик.
Hey, get up and hop like a bunny.
Только желательно подальше, а то от тебя уже дерьмом несет.
Just stay away from us, you stink of shit.
Фу!
You. Oink, oink. Fuck you guys.
Идите вы все нахер!
His eyes red from tears stopped on me. Didn't even have the time to erase the smile from my face when Simon lunged at me like half, clawed at my face with his twisted finger and with gnawed fingernails. I threw a kick toward the layer of fat under the coat. The same moment the worlds became fuzzy, the black trees and the faces of my classmates all blurred.
А чё на это скажешь, сука?
How do you like that, bitch? He threw up a hand holding my glasses victoriously. But his triumph was short-lived. Two blurry silhouettes rushed forward. Simon's former friends. I heard the familiar sounds of someone being slapped around. This is against the rules.
Поступаешь, гнида.
Swipe.
А ну гони линзы назад!
Give back the oculars now.
Дерись по понятиям, на!
Fight like a fucking man, eh? Judging from Simon's side and grumping, he didn't agree to his friend's terms. What the fuck?
Вы чё творите? Ой, бля,
Ouch. Oh,
на лоха
betraying
похож,
me
меня
for this piece of shit.
проверяют.
Oh.
Да пошли вы в жопу!
Fuck you. Are we even friends anymore? Wink. A huge figure trembling in the snow and barely managed to break out from the rain of punches that ran from the hills, dissolving into the twilight.
Завтра в школе тебя выцепим, хрюндель!
We'll get you at school tomorrow, Porky.
Точно, точно!
That's right.
За базар ответишь, на!
You'll answer for this, eh?
Горло тебе перережу, слышишь?
I'll cut your throat. You hear me? Romka and Beasha start throwing pieces of ice on the fleeing Simon, but switched to howling mockery.
Свинья!
Porky! The snow rustled. Two boys clearly out of breath approached me. I was finally able to make out their faces clearly.
Мои очки.
My glasses.
Блять.
Romka crushed under his path.
Гондон этот стащил.
The fucker got them.
Зато мы ему всыпали одну сына!
At least we wiped his ass real good, eh?
Завтра вот с таким фуфелом припрется, отвечаю!
He'll come to school with a shiny at his back. Beasha let out a throatly laugh. The innocent Alan can't would anyway laugh like that.
Ну и дела.
Oh boy.
Тоха, ты без очков хоть что-то видишь?
Can you see without your glasses, Toha?
Немного.
A little bit. A hand holding a rectangle protruded from the mist. Romka was offering me a cigarette.
Угощайся.
My treat. I squinted trying to make out the hand, even though I didn't know anything about cigarettes. I haven't tried smoking yet. I didn't really want it to start. I wonder if they'll keep hanging out with me if I won't adopt all the habits. After a moment of hesitation, I shook my hand.
Спортсмен, что ли?
Into sports, huh? Dude, that's interesting. I didn't expect this to turn out this way.
А ты в глаза долбишься?
Are you blind or something?
Не видел, как он Семёна четко вмазал?
Did you see how he trashed Simon?
Да базара ноль, Mortal Kombat на!
Real deal, Mortal fucking Kombat.
Тоха у нас Рокки Бальбоа!
Toha here is Rocky Balboa.
Тогда уж Иван Драго.
More like Ivan Drago.
Курим одну на двоих, гони жигу.
We'll split this one, give me a light. Romka pulled out a cigarette with his lips, and Beasha scrambled to find a lighter inside his pocket.
Тоха, что я сказать хотел?
So, Toha, back to what I was saying. Don't be
Не
mad,
держи
bro.
зла, брат. Мы тебя на вшивость проверяли. А то очки эти, еще и маска.
We're just testing you. I mean, your glasses and this mask. Beasha lit a giant tills, and Romka smacked his lips, taking a long puff of his cigarette.
Меня, кстати, Ромка зовут.
I'm Romka, by the way. He squeezed my hand so hard that my finger hurt. His palms full of dry torn blisters implied that he hasn't wearing a tracksuit for nothing.
Это вот Бяша.
And this is Beasha.
Ты не очкуй. Со свиньей мы лично пообщаемся.
Don't worry, we'll have a talk with Porky. He let out a cloud of smoke in my face, which instantly made me cough.
Ага.
Yeah,
Пойду пока сумку соберу, а то темнеет.
I'll go gather my stuff. It's getting dark. About to pick up my non-empty backpack and look for its contents, hoping that my new buddies will appear when I turn around. They just stood there passing the cigarette back and forth. Two small silhouettes with a small light wandering between them, with the pine trunks as the backdrop. They were waiting for me to finish picking up textbooks while whispering something to each other. Ronka was the one talking most of the time, though Biasha was just constantly sniffing with his running nose and mumbling in agreement. At the moment I saw the old battered bunny mask from paper mache among the snow-covered notebooks. Dude, what is about with... How did the mask get here? Didn't we had like this... What's called? Like the mitten from WoW? What's going on? Dude, what's going on? I'm like so freaking confused. I thought they're gonna beat me up and then I'm gonna be like lying on the ground and my parents find me. What is going on? I'm so hella confused. Empty eye socket could be filled with anything with any eyes but the mask. Dude, do you see there's like some skull and stuff like that? Looked like it only wanted mine. Where did it come from and why was it in my backpack? Dude, it looks so scary. I picked it up with utmost care as if it could be bite off my finger at any moment. It was just a carnival mask with a frozen spit on the inside. Still, something felt wrong about. Something was writhing inside underneath the layers of old newspapers. I couldn't hear 1,000 of tiny bodies rustled in trembling fur. Something was trying to chew its way out. Maggots.
Готов, Тоха?
You ready, Toha? Romanka's voice pulled me out of my nightmarish delusion, threw the mask away in horror. Someday I won't be able to see it anymore. My innards were twisted from disgust, but I stood up trying to show it. Whether those maggots were real or just my delusion, I don't care. All of this was too much for a single day. I want to get home as soon as possible.
Ладно, пацаны, мне пора уже.
Alright guys, I need to go.
До свидания.
See ya. I held out my hand toward the two silhouettes to say goodbye, a couple of dark lines trembling in front of me. They stood without moving as if they studying me.
С кедрами закорешиться решил.
I decided to buddy up with Kader.
Мы здесь вообще-то.
They're over here. I realized that Romkovas was coming from behind and turned around embarrassed.
Деревья хреновые, кенты.
Trees make for shitty bodies.
Ты не ссы. Мы тебя до дома доведем, а то ты как слепой котенок.
Relax, we'll also escort you home. You're as blind as a newborn kitten. Without us, you'll end up dead around here. Cigarette butt hit against the stump with a flurry of spark and it started sizzling in the snow near my feet. The boys let out a strained laugh and took me by the arms. When we were leaving the clearing, I turned around and hoped to see Alisa. Or at least someone runched out. What if? But I only saw a rumbling tractor that was creeping out from the corner. What the hell is going on? We were going along, so I still fire out in silence. Silence fell oppressing, coupled with my lack of vision, so I spoke.
А почему тебя Бяша зовут?
Why did I call you Bayasha?
А,
The brunette kid just smirked in reply.
потому что я волк в овечьей скурине.
I'm a wolf in a sheep's clothing.
Брешешь.
Bullshit.
Пургу гнать, это он умеет.
Fucking around is what he does the best.
А звать его так, потому что блеет, как овца.
He got his nickname because he bleeds like a sheep.
Все после того, как из черного гаража живым выбрался.
It started after he returned alive from the black garage.
А,
Yasha's face contorted at those words. I could see it even through the vein of blindness. He swayed and started mumbling something unintelligible.
Видишь?
See?
С ним так всегда, как об этой херне заговоришь.
Happens every time someone brings it up.
Ты сейчас о чем?
What are you talking about?
Ты серьезно про эту страшилку не знаешь?
Did you really not hear about that horror story?
На черной улице,
On one pitch black street,
в черной подворотне,
in a pitch black alleyway,
стоит черный гараж.
there is a pitch black garage.
И он знает о тебе все.
It knows everything about you.
Где ты живешь, что любишь, с кем дружишь.
Where you live, what you lack, Who are your friends?
Наверняка слышал о пропавших детях.
I'm sure you heard about the missing kids.
И это тут не первый год происходит.
This has been going on for a while here.
Все местные знают, кто здесь замешан.
The local folk know who's behind all of that.
Даже взрослые.
Even the adults.
Вообще, везет тебе? Ты вон в лесу, считай, живешь.
You got lucky, you live right on the edge of the forest.
Он к тебе так просто не сунется.
This thing won't come there without a good reason.
Тупо сечет, что среди деревьев будет выделяться.
It knows that it looks too foreign amongst the trees.
А у нас эта хрень может где угодно поджидать. Иногда в конце переулка или возле дома.
Well, in our area, this piece of crap can hide anywhere. Be it at the end of alleyway or near your house.
А еще
Also,
идешь такой себе ночью, и тут раз!
you'll be just going somewhere at night and bam!
Он стоит, где совсем недавно пусто было.
You see it in some places that was empty just a while ago.
Дверь открыта, внутри мрак.
Door open, pitch dark inside.
И тут как?
And then, Bayasha pulled his cape over his head and started howling on a high, trembling note, trying to silence Romka.
Ладно, ладно,
Fine,
проехали.
forget it. I was trying to process Romka's story, but I couldn't figure out what to think of it. During the short time I've been in this snow-related village, I realized one thing. A lot of people here had some sort of experience with something that they couldn't explain. I looked at Bayasha, who was spit-pattering to the side.
Тоха, а вот скажи, нахрена вы-то сюда переехали?
Tell me, Toha, why the hell did you move here? I have the deep sigh while looking at my feet. Somewhere down below, the tips of my boots sculpt a fog. I spoke words that I recited countless times.
У отца тут новая работа.
Dad has a new job here.
И мама в поселке раньше жила.
And my mom used to live here,
Давно еще при Союзе.
back in the Soviet days.
Здесь же нечего делать, только гнить.
There's nothing to do here but rot away.
Ну или как Бяша, по лесам шастать.
Oh, well, like Biasha here wandering around the forest. Biasha fearfully showed his face from under his hood, like a snail crawling out of his shell and listening.
Он у нас турист.
He's a camper, see?
Летом целую неделю в палатке жил.
Spent a whole week in the tent last summer.
Здесь, рядом.
Here, nearby.
Прикинь?
Cool shit, right?
Хотя от мамки его звезданутый я бы сам в лес сбежал.
I mean, with a crazy old woman like this, I'd also flee to the forest. His mom, basically. We kept on going, but it felt like it was the forest that was sliding by. Pines were the black keys, and the spaces between them the white ones. The ticket was playing its old creaky melody. The melody of roots, bear caves, and forgotten tiger skits. Snowflakes flew around, creating a disturbing illusion that somebody was wandering the forest. Somebody tall and excitable, ready to camouflage as a tree or a snow pile. And then, when nobody paid attention anymore, they just continue moving along the road. This was just a trick of the light. There was no one there. At least I wanted to think that. Ромка suddenly stopped and said,
Слышите?
"Hear that?
В лесу кто-то бродит походу.
Someone is snooping around the forest." The skin under my clothes starting itching, my stomach starting aching. We looked away, Romka was pointing.
Высоченный, причем с нашей скоростью идет.
Really tall, matching our speed. I don't see shit. There were no tall silhouettes behind the mast of pines, just shadow creeping in the semi-dark. Slow shadows. Fast shadows. Hungry shadows. The snow that fell silently from the branches made shiny and bite into my lip. As if something huge lifted it off the tree and flew away. Maybe even toward us. Romka picked up a pine cone from the ground and threw it into the thicket.
Эй!
Hey! His shot ricocheted as if it hit the tightly sprung drum. The echo mocked Romka, then the silence rang. again.
Кто-нибудь видел?
Did you see that? I shook my hand. The only thing I could see were the vertical strokes of trees, darkness, the snow, and the hazy silhouettes of my companions. Remember the rough textured trunks, the spongy linears, the icy bites on the bathrooms of the ravines.
Пойдемте скорее.
Let's move
а то
faster, the sun
вечереет.
is setting. I was going again, grabbed by the elbows and dragged along toward the forest, toward the pointy spires of branches. The sun had finally sunken behind the green peaks. The darkness withered, spread its shoulders, and started spreading like smoke. It started snowing, big sticky flakes, white flies flowing the scent of the dead meat. My vision had become a small island awash by dark waters. I was grasped by the same melancholy feeling I had in the morning. I felt that somewhere far away, the edge of my comprehension, I had very calm and silent flute playing. Yo, I can hear it. The sound was fragile, like ice in March, above the dormant waters, the bottomless lake. I scarred inside of my ear with my finger to get rid of that auditory hallucination. Let me save. Forest was silent. I imagine a child walking at night under the watchful eyes of pines.
А вы знали Вову Матюхина?
You know Vova Matyuhin?
Мальчика, который пропал недавно.
The boy who went missing recently.
А разве мы не его ищем, сладкий?
Weren't we looking for him, sweetie? Shuddered and stopped, staring at the person who was guiding me. At Alisa in her unchanging fox mask. How? What? The girl was gently holding my elbow.
Что ты здесь?
What? Why are you?
А ведь я тебя потерял.
I lost sight of you.
Потерял.
You did because you were
Потому что
careless.
зазевался.
I squinted in suspicion.
И давно ты за нами идешь?
How long were you following me? Following us?
Что значит давно? Я всегда была рядом.
What do you mean? How long? I was always by your side.
Да и за кем?
And who
За
us?
вами.
Stunned, I looked around, but I couldn't find Roma and Bayasha. My dog is going crazy in the background. Let me check it out, what his problem is. Okay, I'm back. He's still gonna bark, but there's nothing to do because outside there are like people arguing and there's a dog as well, so he barks at a different dog. Anyways, let's continue. And then I felt her cold finger on my wrist.
Пойдем же.
Let's go.
Мы собирались искать Вову.
We're going to look for Vova. Without a chance to catch my breath, she started dragging me along through the forest. I was enveloped by the smell of tangerines, coffee, and firecrackers. Felt like I was a small kid again, being led into the unknown. I saw the dark silhouettes of trees ahead, the bushes, hedgehogs were wary, showing us the spikes. Something rectangular appeared in our way like a small box. I became petrified, touched the edge of my eye, pulling back the eyelid as if it was trying to correct my vision. A garage made of metal rose right from the windfall. Wow. It was big, no huge, impossible to move without special equipment. Its walls were painted black, even blacker than the darkness around us. The fox sniffed around and it seemed like her mask twisted in disgust.
Это здесь.
This is the place. The worried voice of my companion scared me even more than this horrifying metal box.
Здесь?
Here,
Я слышу его запах.
I can smell him.
Может, Вова играет с нами в прятки? И он
Oh shit, I have a
решил
bad feeling
спрятаться
about this. Maybe Vova is playing hide and seek with us and he decided to hide
внутри.
inside. Felt like I saw smoke from tentacles that split off the garage, splashing for something in the velvet leaves. These tentacles slittered along the snowy blanket, getting closer to our feet, and there was a scary scourging sound coming from the other side, the huge black metal gates. Somebody or something definitely waited for us inside. I thought that my nervous movements were similar to that of marionette dangling in the hands of a puppeteer. I stepped toward the garage, holding my breath. Let me save. What the fuck? Gave the sheet metal door a small knock with my knuckles. Knock knock. And then jumped back. I heard rusty meat hooks jingle on the thick metal chains. Awakening someone huge who crawled in to open up the black gates. What the heck? Nothing happened. My heart was racing. Still nothing. Knock knock. I hesitated to turn my back to the garage, so I took... Run! I heard a weak, scared voice resounding in my head. Stumbling all over the place, I still rushed into the night that was swarming with shadows. Wait, what happened? Still nothing. Knock knock. Slept underneath my... Okay. Okay. I ran behind the crooked trunk, I quite sure that Alisa was by my side. After a moment had passed, I realized that the girl was nowhere to be found. The forest mumbling in an ancient chants. Squeaking, ticking, rustling. I froze. Didn't know how much time had passed before I realized that I was standing in complete darkness in the circles of trees that were shooting up the trunks high into the sky. Everything around me moved, trembling, my ears bent numb from all the rustling. Tree drops melted into the darkness of the cosmos. The bushes became empty cells whose occupants were suddenly set free. I felt like cloud fang could fly out of the darkness into my stunned face at any moment. I heard a scream somewhere far away.
Anton!
Anton! Somebody was looking for me, just like the boy who went missing. Tears stung my eyes, and a big drop fell from my lashes.
Anton!
Dawn! The scream was close enough. For a moment, I even believed that I was about to be saved.
Я здесь!
I'm here! One of the trees moved. It wasn't Romka, nor was it Piasha. The adult, tall, with long arms. Many shadows that looked like dogs snuck around behind his back, but those beasts were much larger than Zhulka. Forest was dormant, no longer it hid its face behind the fake mask. It stood still like a deer piercing by the light of an incoming truck, and the beast all stared at me. In the semi-dark without my glasses, I couldn't see very little, but still more than anything enough for me to freeze in terror. Full smell of animal piss, bad fur enveloped the clearing, and a creepy procession with a giant on its head moved toward me. My legs gave way because of fear, and I fell to my knees into the snow. It looked like I was praying to the figure, to the trees, to the darkness. Didn't dare lift my eyes, so when he got close, showering me with the stench for a moment, I thought that his legs were covered in grey fur. I shut my eyes so tight that the red circles started dancing on the inside of my eyelids. Don't want to look. I couldn't still hear anything. His breath was like into sandpaper that was scratching at my ears. His voice was deep, hoarse. No, that wasn't a voice. I roared. Jesus. I fished my grandma chant out of the pool of my memory.
Мертвые к мертвым.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, ashes. I got his tension roaring in reply. Oh my god, what the hell is that? Got his tension roaring in reply. Words could never protect against claws and fangs. I was helpless. Then I heard a familiar sweet voice nearby.
Ну же, скорей! Попробуй его на вкус!
Come on, do it. Get a taste of him.
Не надо!
No. Wait, was it a goat? A devil? Something hot slid across my throat like a meaty, sticky rope. Someone's tongue.
Я же говорила, хозяин!
I told you, master. What the fuck?
Это наш зайчик.
He's our bunny.
Позаботься о нем.
Please take good care of him. Oh my god. From the narrow pressure of a barely lifted eyelids covered by my trembling fingers, I watched the horrifying silhouette tower over me. Holy shit. I was thinking in the smell of nails, compost bits and moss. In front of me stood a scary horned beast with the presence of a monarch. His posture told me his electrifying nobleness. His horns supported the claws and his popped out leukemias pierced my ready to pop eyes with a thorny stare. His hands were full of gifts. Candy fell off the snow, sparkling with its fancy wrappers, silvery pack of chocolate bars and chupa chups sticking out the snow pile with plastic sticks. For you! Candy rained at my feet. It all fell nearly, and then it started raining toys, a spinning top, a teddy bear with a torn-up nose, red-headed Carlson without a propeller, a tin toy soldier with a flag, a firefighter truck, a crop duster playing. Toys were covered in blood, but my imagination was painting them with red spots and crimson leaks all its own. The horned shadows of the beast moved over the treasures that once belonged to unknown kids. That ache. Heavy hands reached into surrounding darkness, took out of many bunny masks that were surrounding me. And forcefully pulled it over my face. Bunny. Dude, this is like a goat or some sort. Holy cow. Bunny. The shadows Beasts around us slowly and graciously stood up on their legs. The light in my face shattered the monster's figure and saw to put up my hands to protect myself. Flashing a ray slid down.
Антон!
Anton,
Вот ты где.
there you are.
Ты совсем сдурел?
Are you out of your mind?
Это вообще как понимать?
What is this all about? I was staring at my dad, completely stunned in the space where the monster was just a moment ago. I'm sure it was brave and... Wait, I need to buy a new mouse.
Ты совсем сдурел? Это вообще как...
I was staring at my dad, completely stunned into space. The clearing was enveloped in darkness again, but I couldn't still barely make out the outlines of toys in the Canadian snow. I'm sure it was brave enough to get close to the bushes and find animal prints there.
Язык проглотил?
Cat got your tongue.
Одноклассники твои к нам пришли.
Classmates came to us.
Сказали, ты сбежал от них в лес, в самую чащу и...
They said that you ran away from them deep in the forest and...
Что это за дрянь ты напялил?
What the hell are you wearing? Pulled the mask down from my sweaty face and threw it into the heap of toys. Branches crackled in the distance. Pressed myself into my father's chest, engulfing him by fear, and he started looking around, alerted. I spoke in a tone of voice that was much more nervous.
Так, пойдем отсюда скорее.
Okay, let's get out of here.
Мать узнает, такой нагоняй нам устроит, мало не покажется.
If your mother learns about this, she'd be so mad at us, we'll never forget this day. I reached out for my father, still feeling the chilling embrace of fear. I grabbed his firm hand, felt his quick pulse with my fingertips. Then stood up and wobbled along behind my father, following his barely described footprints. Back to civilization, back to lake, back to road where my dad parked his car.
Чтобы дома ни слова, ясно?
And not a word about this at home, got it?
Ни единого намека, где я тебя нашел.
Don't even hint at where I found you.
Да, пап.
Alright, Dad. Dude, what the hell? He was holding my hands as if it was the most precious thing in the world, telling me how afraid he is to lose me or Olya. Jesus Christ, that's so scary. But it wasn't that sticky like an animal tongue fear. His fear was noble, crystal clear diamond. I just nodded and replied and kept moving my feet. Then I heard a familiar voice coming from behind me.
Помни,
Remember?
пока ты со мной, никто тебя здесь не тронет.
As long as you're with me, nobody will lay finger on you here. What the fuck? The car sped toward our house. What the fuck? Where's the garage? What the fuck? It's also kind of weird to have a garage in the middle of the forest. Pressed my cheek against the window and saw a short building among the trees, a sharp, darker than night. The garage that was hidden inside the ticket crypt made of metal. It almost felt like it was following us. A moment passed and the building disappeared around the corner. Gulped down my dollar. Jesus Christ. That's crazy. The white snowflakes just kept bouncing on the steady sky. Dum. Look what the cat dragged in. Mom was going down the stairs, piercing Dad with a trademark glare. Her face showed something between wrath and condescension. Suddenly, her gaze shifted to me and stayed for a dangerously long time.
Так, я не поняла. Антон, а где очки?
Hey, what's this?
Потерял?
Where are your glasses, Anton? Did you lose them?
Да в школе поди забыл, простофиля.
This damage probably just forgot them at school. Venomous paws flowed.
Весь в тебя.
Here's your son, alright? Dad glared at Mom and then mysteriously winked at me, reminded me of our deal.
Ну ничего, есть же запасные. Проживем как-нибудь.
We'll have some pair of glasses, so we'll manage to survive somehow. My parents stood in silence a bit longer, and then both of them went mind their own business. Olya threw herself into my arms before I could even take off my coat.
А я лису видела!
I saw a fox! Surprise akin to the shotgun blast. Could only flap my lips in reply. Cup shattered into my little pieces with a loud bang. My mom let it fall from her hands. Her face was pale and her eyes were glued to the ground. This past just split second felt like an eternity. Then my mom spoke with disappointment.
То сова, то лиса.
First it was an owl, now it's a fox.
Когда ж тебе надоест?
Will you ever get tired of this? But it's true.
Такая пушистая!
She was so fluffy.
Она у забора стояла на задних лапах, совсем как человек.
She stood on her back legs near the hedge, just like a person.
Она меня позвала, а тут мама вышла, и лиса убежала.
The fox called my name, but then mom came and she fled.
Не было там никакой лисы.
There was no fox.
Не выдумывай.
Stop making things up.
Не подходи к ней.
Don't go near her. It was necessary. I was ready to shake my sister as if she was a doll made of cloth.
Ты чего, Тоша?
What's wrong, Tosha?
Не подходи, слышишь?
Don't go. You hear me? Don't go. Mom entered the hallway and gave me a surprised look. I hesitated.
Лиса ведь укусить может.
Well, a fox will bite you. I remembered fairy tales where foxes used to kidnap children. Imagine my Alisa liberated carnivores running through the night forest with a dangling sack in her hands.
Это ж была не настоящая лиса.
It wasn't a real fox.
Расскажи ему, Оль.
Tell him, Olya.
Она на двух ногах ходила, а еще была в платье одета.
She wore a dress and she stood on 2 legs.
Только она была взаправду.
And she was real.
Видишь?
See? Mom shot a tired smile as it was the only explanation needed. I also forced myself to smile. My smile was like a thin piece of soap right before it dissolved completely on your palm. But when I was left alone with my sister, I whispered,
Еще раз увидишь ее, беги.
"If you see her again, run." Holy cow. Thoughts of the forest beast bombarded me like rain of candy and toys. There was a hairy silhouette standing in front of me, towering over the treetops. Who was he? What happened in the forest? What happened to me? I shut my eyes and threw the vitamins in my mouth, washed them down with water. Please stop driving me mad, please. I barely managed to force myself to do homework, but those math problems just refused to be solved. Relatable. Numbers in my notebook tumbled around and mixed in whirling dances, sometimes running over the lines. My head became heavy from the pandemonium and almost dropped into the chain of numbers. My eyelids felt like there was tiny weights tied to them, the type used in grocery stores. And right at the moment I surrendered and closed my notebook, the memories of my day started flashing before my eyes. I was in the middle of stuffy school corridor. Could see the literary class from here, the faces of that classical writers and the portraits, the prime regal poses of our homeroom teacher Lila Pavlovna. And around that corner was her daughter Katya, a snitch, a gossip, eagerly waiting for me.
Эй, новенький, новенький.
Hey, transfer student, transfer student.
Чего тебе, Кать?
What do you want, Katya? She got on her tippy toes and started saying, while hiding her hands behind her back, and then asked me with a fake smile on her face.
Скажи, пожалуйста, а чего это тебя к нам перевели?
Can I ask you something? Why did you get transferred here? Might have told the truth about this to Polina. Katya will sell it to the market for 3 kopeyki. It would be the same as printing all my thoughts and hanging them near Vova's picture for everyone to see. So I reverted to an answer I knew by heart.
Это все из-за моих родителей.
It's all because of my
У
parents.
папы тут новая работа, а мама...
Dad has a new job here, and my mom... Katya didn't even listen to me, just rushed forward and perked up ears Her friends whispered something while stealing glances at me, giggling.
Да, конечно, конечно.
Yeah, right.
Он нас тут совсем за дурачков держит.
Takes us all for fools.
Я вот слыхала, что это все из-за его отца.
Heard it as all because of his father.
Он недавно кому-то крутому дорогу перешел, и теперь они всей своей семейкой в нашем захолустье скрываются.
He crossed the road to someone big shot, and now their family is hiding in our remote little village.
Неправда!
Ты
Ты
всё
все врешь!
True, you're lying.
А слышали, как он бабулина просто так стукнул?
But did you hear how he hit Baburin out of the blue?
Это каким надо быть уродом, чтобы в первый же день так над одноклассником измываться?
What kind of freak must you be to start bullying your classmate from day one?
Прекрати! Ты же знаешь, он первый начал!
Stop, you know he started it.
И будто этого мало.
But it wasn't enough. There are rumors that he's hanging out with the delinquents
Что он
from
спутался с ворюгами
Ромка
из
Потюфин
шайки
Скэнк.
Ромки Пятифана. Ой,
Be careful with your
девочки,
bags,
сумки
girls.
проверяйте. Того и гляди, в гардеробе вещи начнут
I won't be
пропадать.
surprised if things start disappearing from our wardrobe.
Будем знать. Это Петров с дружками постарался.
And we'll know who to blame, Petrov and his friends.
Да-да-да.
Yes, yes, yes.
Замолчи! Заткнись!
Shut up.
Вон как раскричался-то, будто ужаленный.
Look at him scream, as if somebody bit him.
А зрачки-то, зрачки какие широкие.
His pupils, look at how wide they are.
Опять чего доброго с катушек слетит и руки распускать начнет.
I hope you won't go insane and resort to violence again.
Не зря же его мать с таблетками пичкает.
I mean, there must be a reason why his mom always feeds him those pills, right? I just stood there in confusion, trying to wait to understand how she found out about my medicine. And what's scared her even more was the possibility that her nonsense had some truth mixed in.
Да-да,
Yes, that's right.
он такой же ненормальный, как и его сестрица.
Oh shit. He's as insane as his little sister.
Представляете, к этой сумасшедшей дурочке каждую ночь прилетает сова ростом с человека.
Can you imagine that she says a human-sized owl visits her every night?
Да-да,
Yes, yes, yes.
только что-то ее никто из здоровых людей не видел.
But not a single healthy person has seen it.
А этот наивный простак ей верит.
But this simpleton believes her.
Нет, ну вы представляете?
Can you imagine that? And then I caught a single kind look from a smirking crowd.
Это правда, Антон?
Is that true, Anton?
Неужели действительно тебе не здоровится?
Are you unwell?
Полина, послушай меня!
Alina, please listen to me.
Как же?
Yeah, right.
Не слушай
Wait, are we
этого
dream-
болтуна, Полиночка.
Are we dreaming this or is it happening for you? I'm so confused. Don't listen to this liar, Polinochka.
Ты еще не знаешь.
You don't even know.
Он тебя на другую променял. Не из нашей школы.
That they cheated on you with someone not from our school.
На Алису.
With Alisa. Polina's larger son kicked her in the stomach and then burst out in tears and fell to the dirty floor, wailing and screaming. Okay, we're dreaming this. This is a nightmare. No. Why her? Anton, why? Couldn't understand her reaction, but I still rushed to Polina's side before getting shoved violently by Katya.
Убери от нее свои лапы, чудовище!
Get your paws off her, you monster. Rage was building up underneath my veil of my fear. Slowly rose from the cloudy mist. Felt my upper lip creep up, showing my teeth.
То, что твой отец бьет мать, еще не дает тебе права поднимать руку на девушку.
The fact that your father beats your mother doesn't give you the right to do the same to girls. My fist became hammers. I couldn't unclench them. Nobody can speak about my family like that. Came to my senses when I already launched at the angry Katya. Haha!
Слетел-таки!
He went nuts.
Спасение!
Help, help, Petrov went completely insane.
С катушек слетел!
Tom. At the same moment, the crowd around had become louder and started whistling and roaring and growing. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What is going on? The subtle eyelids of my schoolmates became larger, wider. They shot upward toward the ceiling, turned into a giant black forest, chock full of toothless faces. I shrank to the tiny ball of earth and started shaking in fear. Before the might of nuclear-ridden trunks belonged to either trees or humans, it was impossible to tell.
Вот ты и показал свое животное нутро.
So you finally shown your animal nature. Jesus.
Трус!
Coward. Katya's face was twisted with jubilation and ecstasy. Anton. Why her? No. What makes her better than me? Polina screamed while choking on her tears. What the fuck? She is just
Животное!
an animal,
Чужак!
an outsider. What the fuck? Scary flapping of wings come from the forest. A pair of giant white ears descend somewhere from above, and I duck myself into them. Anton,
Пожалуйста!
please. Wake up. Wait, is it a fire? Jumped up, almost falling out of bed. Apparently I was thrashing around the flowers and the sweat-soaked sheets. Olia's scream pulled me out, set me free from the tentacles of fear. Anton,
Пожалуйста!
please, wake up. Took my eyes while to focus on the silhouette near the window. Olia's voice was distant, my head was still ringing after the fight. Sounds got distorted as if my ears were stuffed with cotton. My sister, as distressed as ever, just kept on repeating the same phrases.
Сова! Сова!
The owl. Please.
Я боюсь!
I'm scared.
Боюсь!
Her tears poured into my heart like boiling water, but I was almost thankful for the owl's appearance. Otherwise, the scared Olia wouldn't have woken me up.
Оля, я сейчас.
Wait a second, Olia.
Хочешь, я тебе Мурзилку почитаю?
Want me to read Murzilka for you? Murzilka is like a children monthly illustrated magazine for kids. It is published since 1924. The magazine used to identify a yellow creature wearing a scarf and a red beret as mascot. Writers like Samuel Mashkin and Ankni Barton contributed to magazines early in their careers.
Подожди.
Give me. Placed my bar here, heels on the cold floor. Felt around for my glasses. Remembered Simon has underhanded act and sign. Anton.
Пожалуйста!
Please.
Пожалуйста! Посмотри!
Look. She couldn't tear her eyes off the window as if it was a staring contest. Found the light switched and with my headlamp poured bright and light over me. I got up. My vision followed me, moving the window close only to push this farther the next moment. My sister was just a blurry spot. Took a hesitant step forward. Olia,
Что там?
what's there?
Что-то случилось?
What happened?
Ты хочешь, чтобы я открыл шторы?
Do you want me to open the curtains?
Нет, не надо!
No, please don't.
Там же сова!
There's the owl. What the hell is going on? The voice was coming from behind. Turned around and froze from terror. Teary-eyed Olya stood in the doorway. Who?
Кем ты разговаривал, братик?
Who were you talking right now? She started at me with eyes that were red from crying, with her hands wrapped around her shoulders. Her voice was nervous, as she was afraid to hear my answer.
Я разговаривал с тобой. С тем, кто притворился тобой.
I was talking to you, to someone who pretended to be you. The ledge outside my windows creaked ominously as if something huge was sitting on top of it. And the thing that pretended to be Olya started spreading, changing shape, growing to scary height under the light of Cornelius' moon. Holy shit, Anton. Please. Come closer, come here. The voice didn't belong to my sister anymore. The thing that was hiding behind my curtains got tired of pretending, making me look like a fool. I pinched myself as hard as I could, hoping that the silhouette near the window was just a continuation of my nightmare, a hallucination brought upon by cursed hearts. And those don't bite, do they? The silhouette was towering before me under the veil of mist. I heard Olya's shrill scream when someone had knocked on the window. Knock, knock. It came to get us. Another knock. I stepped back into the middle of the room, as there existed a knocks where I could hide from his horror. Knock, knock. The sound was sharply metallic. The lamp started shimmering, then it suddenly lightened the whole room and went out like a candle in the strong wind. The filament inside it snapped with a ringing sound. The darkness that was waiting for the exact moment poured from all angles and enveloped me. There was only this window left, and the whole universe moonlight poured through it, painting everything, the color, the bones, the works you mean from a crypt. Olya started squealing and pressed herself into my back, seeking protection. And then an eye, burning with carnivorous fire, stared at us from the window. Knock, 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 knock. No, it wasn't trying to break the window, it was toying with us. It just kept on knocking, driving us mad. Knock, 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 knock. As if a giant clock was measured, the time left was its pendulum swing above the abyss. Go away, get out, shush! She was screaming in desperation, her hands clutching my hand like a pair of pincers. Anton, Anton, Anton. Come closer. I could barely make a pair of wings that spread out above the black spot.
Скажи ей, Антон!
Tell her, Anton.
Скажи, что я больше не буду себя плохо вести!
Tell it that I won't be a bad girl anymore.
Никогда!
Never ever.
Только пусть она уйдет!
I just wanted to leave.
Пожалуйста!
Please. The moonlight suddenly disappeared and the room descended into darkness. We couldn't see their burning eyes anymore. I swallowed the stinging lump that was stuck in my throat. Save time. Time to save. I stepped over the curtains and entranced by the call of this disfigured guest.
Не буду, не буду, не буду, не буду!
Olya was staying behind me, mumbling, I'll be good, I'll be good, I'll be good, I will be behaving. Jesus. The Black Widow was creeping closer, curtains rustled. I reached out to move them aside so I could look at my fear in the eye. At that moment, I heard a noise coming from our parents' bedroom. Without thinking, I pulled the curtains to the side in one swing. Nothing. though there was something shining on the ledge, some among the scattered feathers. My glasses. The ones that Simeon took from me. Wait, what? How? Why? What? How did they get here? Was that a gift from the curling night? Did the orb really bring them here? I looked at the front yard and the far-bound clearing and the totally forest. Not a soul, not a trace from our late-night guest. Only the old lamppost streaming like a lone watchman among the snowy desert. The dry window frame creaked. Far away the insulating tape of the strips of glued newspapers. Window installation. Before plastic windows became widely accessible in Russia, the cracks in frames of wooden windows were filled with cotton or pieces of cloth and sealed with self-adhesive tape or strips of newspaper soaked in soapy water to conserve heat in winter. Yep, we did that as well. Opened the window with a big trouble. Frost pinned me with its little needles. The painting on the wall moved from the draft. I touched my glasses, sure they would melt in my hand. They were real. My brain was scrambling for explanations. Simeon and his gang just pulled a prank on me. That was it. That's it. A smooth white blanket was glittering under the street lamp just outside your yard. If anyone was to get close to the house, to climb the pine, to ledge of my window, they would surely leave footprints. But there was none. I cautiously took my glasses. My wrist was still intact. Nobody pulled me into the darkness full of restless writing.
Вы почему не спите?
Why aren't you in bed? A spade from surprise and almost fell out of the window.
Совсем сдурели?
Are you out of your mind?
Жарко, что ли?
You feel hot in here.
Не болели давно?
Do you want to catch a cold?
Там сова была! Тоша ее прогнал!
The owl was here. Tosha chased it away.
А ну-ка марш спать к себе в комнату!
Go to your room immediately and get you in bed.
А с тобой?
And you? Mom paused, directing her sitting eyes at me. She was thinking of punishments equivalent to my crime. In the end, she just waved her hands, took Ollie by the shoulder and left, throwing a grimy words in my way.
Завтра поговорим.
We talk tomorrow. I managed to get the frame back in peace with a couple of hits pressed to the latches, with all the strength in my finger could muster. The cold left the room, but the fear was still present. Yeah, it would be still present, dude. What was that? Placed my glasses on my nose and started studying my reflection in the window. I didn't think I looked like a face, more like a death mask. It's like the one worn by the boy from the notice board. The night I was on the edge of joining him there. Black and white face was staring at me through the clearing between student hands. Attention, child missing, Simeon Baburin, 13 years old, grade 6B. He left for school in the morning of January 9 and never returned. Feature 150, 160 cm tall, chubby, ginger hair and grey eyes. Was wearing dark brown sheepskin coat, a beige scarf, a black mink hat and Alaska boots. Please call these numbers if you have any information of Simeon's whereabouts. It was Volvo, his face was right beside it. Recognized the fat cheeks, they matched skin. Simeon. Holy shit, Baburin's photo was printed on the place under the glass like an expedition piece. Damn. And I'm the first suspect. So 3. One end, the wolf's grey fur will stand. Holy cow. That is spooky, but let me quickly take a small break. I'll be right back. Hello, I'm back. I am back. Let's start the third chapter and then we will see where it takes us. But so far it's crazy. On the end, the wolf's grey will stand. The one who hated Baburin. You think he did it? I've heard he is a weirdo. The warm velvet Ronco by shrouded at the back of fleeing salmon got inside my head.
Горло тебе перережу, слышишь?
I'll cut your throat, you hear? Porky. Was Ronco serious about his threats? Would he chase his former friend deep into the forest and then what? Kill him just like that? No, that can't be right. I heard earlier rub at my glass. Says? Rubbed? The glasses. Simon was clutching them in the fist while trying to escape the barrage of kicks and slaps from his friends. Or my friends by now. And in just a couple of hours, this lost item was lying in the ledge of my window. It was hard to imagine that Simeon suddenly got quietly consistent and returned conscious and returned my glasses in such a strange way. I was shocked, but I kept walking toward the classroom accompanied by nasty whispers all around me. That photo still stood before my eyes. Simon was gone missing. Simon is gone. Simon is gone missing. Simon is gone. His fat fingers will never get to my throat. His signet ring won't smash into my chin. I'll never humiliate me again. Wasn't that what I wished for? On the other hand, did I really wish Simeon to become a murky stain on the notice board? He was still someone's son or grandson, and he went through the same struggles as me. Sorry, I just got a phone call. Also, don't be scared. My dog is in my room. He might bark once again. So don't spook. Struggles as me. Did I really wish for my unseen companion to dispatch him in such a brutal fashion? I didn't know the answer. Or was I just scared of it? Nonetheless, school still had something nice about it. Paulina, the girl with violin, was like a mountain spring, like well water. There you gulped on, pressing your lips against the sink outer ring of a bucket and can't even get enough. What if I make her one of the characters in the story I'll draw? The protagonist will save her from terrifying monsters. Soon I thought of the monsters. A bunch of my classmates slid down the rails, smirking like the xenomorphs from Alien. Oi. I immediately felt the larvas of fear within my stomach. Didn't want to cross paths with Tromko and Biasha after what happened yesterday, especially since Simeon suddenly went missing. I entered the classroom and went toward the last row. All of the chatter suddenly died down as I walked there in a complete silence. Felt like my classmates pushed me and poked me with their stares. They carefully observed my every move. I started at the desk with a huge pile of library textbooks on top of my fists clenched. I felt like I was the one who disappeared in the snowy forest, and my desk was finally used for something worthwhile. Simon's empty chair stood in front of me. The chair that once belonged to Wawa gathered dust somewhere in the other classroom. After a moment of hesitation, I sat down at the Baburin desk, the place where I was supposed to be assigned by Lilia Pavlovna first. The chatter assumed that someone just unpaused the movie.
Бабушка Бабурина такой кипиш устроила, когда он домой не явился.
Baburin's grandma made such a fuss when he didn't return home.
Сначала в школу прибежала, потом ментов вызвала.
First, she ran to the school and then called the cops.
Да-да-да.
Yes, yes, yes. Katya snuck a cunning glaze at me, then leaned into her neighbor and whispered something. Girls from the second row also leaned in and shared something with their whisper notes. Kept catching her stares on myself. The neighbor stared too. The whole class was watching me. It was like they felt the need to watch me because they were searching for traces of blood on my fingers. I wanted to defend myself and shout, guys, listen, I am innocent. Romka gave me a heavy, worried look. He was probably as stunned by Simon's disappearance as everybody else. And then he directed his stare straight at my face. It felt like he was about to point his finger at me and shout, top of his lungs. Everyone look, Baburin snatched his glasses yesterday and now he has them back, murderer. But he remained silent as if it was nothing special all about my glasses. I may be going mad, but I think Romka knows something. He knows something, but he won't tell me what. But it was also possible he didn't care at all, just like everyone else. Then Romka shifted his eyebrows and suspicion and stared at Katya as if informing her that he didn't believe in a word she said. I want to believe that Romka would take my side. And Babushin, who sat sprawled in his chair with his chin pressed against the table too. They were silent. Terrifying thought flashed in my mind. Those two could easily betray me, push me off the cliff. Just like they did with Simeon. As I was looking for protection, I clutched the ruler until my hand hurt.
Не надо быть Колумбо, чтобы догадаться.
You don't have to be Columbo to solve this. Columbo is like a detective show, right? An American crime drama television series starring Peter Falk as Columbo, a homicide detective in the Los Angeles Police Department.
Кто на Бабурина зуб имел?
Who held a grudge against Baburin?
Кто его вчера ударил? Поиздевался, а после...
Who hit him yesterday, bullied him, and then... Metal ruler fell out of my weak fingers, it hit the floor. The jingle, and that made the other kids shudder. Katya bit her tongue and screamed nervously. Chairs scratched against the floor. My classmates moved away from me, closer to the exit toward the teacher's desk. I was not the only one to catch wind of the change. Romka and Basha looked around and winced in contempt. Good that they were clearly on my side. Welcome back. Hello, still playing spooky game.
Да прикуси ты!
Shut up.
Бабурин, небось, с бабкой посрался и дымил на.
I bet you Baburin just got whipped from his old. I can run off.
Скоро найдется.
They'll find him soon.
Найдется, ага.
They'll find him, alright?
Во враге. Со
In a
всколотым
ravine,
брюхом.
with his stomach cut open. I gulped. Ooh, imagine Yomona snowy, blank, his face white like a fish belly split down the middle by the ravine of his mouth, snowflakes falling in his glassy eyes. And feeling his throat. See, I could almost hear his constant tone. It's your fault. Of course, Simon didn't me a favor by disappearing. Thanks to him, my classmates now started at me and Diggy, I'm gonna hit the goal of 2. Oh, nice. 20k. That's cool. That's cool. But that was only a side of the coin. What if they'll have to repay that favor soon? The door creaked. Paulina entered the classroom. I straightened up in a hurry so she wouldn't see me looking like a scarlet critter. Paulina phoned me with her eyes, gave me a short note, and went to her seat. Katya rushed to her neighbors again like lap rat and saw it straight and started whispering, switching her gaze between me and Paulina. Messages on a piece of paper started jumping around the classroom. The ring trail announced the start of the class.
Так, заканчиваем бардак. Дети, встаньте.
Alright, stop messing around, class, stand up.
Петров, тебя это тоже касается.
You too, Petrov. Ilya Pavlin went to her desk, followed by a policeman in uniform. It was the man that visited us just recently, tall and his stars so sharp and you could get on it.
Здрасте.
Hello there, kids.
Здравствуйте!
Hi.
Садитесь.
You can sit down, kids.
Познакомьтесь. Это старший лейтенант Константин Владимирович Тихонов.
This is Senior Lieutenant Konstantin Vladimirovich Tikhonov.
Он задаст вам несколько вопросов и проведет небольшую лекцию по безопасности.
He's going to ask you a couple of questions and give you a small PSA.
Лучше лекция от милиционера, чем уроки.
This class left Abe talking to a policeman was better than studying. I, on the other hand, was ready to sit through hundreds of hours of Russian literature just to escape the lieutenant's oppressive stare. Sprying eyes felt around the classroom looking for me. Hair stood on the back of my neck and the ninth cell that's lodged in my gut. Icicle.
Правда, что Бабурина маньяк убил?
Is it true that Baburin got killed by a serial killer?
Екатерина, ну-ка цыц.
Shush.
Вопросы здесь взрослые задают.
Irina, let's the adult ask question here.
Просто нам всем страшно.
We're all scared.
Может, убийца бродит где-то рядом?
Maybe the killer is somewhere near, somewhere close.
Или сидит у нас за спиной?
Maybe they're even sitting among us. A sly stare was directed at me. Konov stepped in between the rows of desks and started walking at an extra-usually slow pace, brushing his fingers against the chairs he passed by. Some of the students almost broke their necks following his movement. That's how a crowd of commoners would gleefully anticipate a public execution in the Middle Ages. And he just walked, getting closer and closer to me. I gritted my teeth and to stop myself from screaming. Calm down, breath. Didn't kill or kidnap anyone. He already knew the answer to this question, but the policeman still asked in stern voice.
Петров Антон.
Anton Petrov?
Да.
Yes.
Встань, Петров.
Stand up, Petrov. A muscle turned to stone. I got up and glued myself from the chair. I felt like I could hear all my joints creak in the process. I only wish that Paulina wouldn't turn around and see the grimace of horror on my face. If I only could be somewhere far away in the forest, digging myself into a snow pile, rolling into a ball and there. The officer stared at me as if he was about to lock a pair of handcuffs on my wrist. I wonder how cold those pair razor that's to the touch. I imagined myself getting jailed and put into juvenile detention center where the tens of Simeons would constantly harass me.
Я ничего не знаю. Я тут ни при чем.
I don't know anything. I have nothing to do with it.
А тебя никто и не обвиняет.
Nobody's accusing you of anything.
Пока что.
For now. Only then, a file that says case number innocent at a gray cover made from rough carton. Личное дело. Flopped onto desk like a guillotine blade that slid down on someone's neck. With a measured motion, Tikhonov opened the file, still staring me with a gaze. I caught a glimpse of document and photos that showed prints of the snow that looked like animal prints. So what's happening in the story right now? Okay. So basically, yesterday we found out that kids started disappearing in this village where I live because of our family situation. Since our dad was an accountant, he messed up and some big shots are trying to get rid of us. So we decided to move in a small village. We got into school and getting bullied by Siminov and his gang. On the way to school, we meet this mysterious looking girl who's wearing a fox mask. We don't really know if she is a girl or something else, but we decide to hang out with her. And during our adventures, we end up in this scary forest. In this scary forest, we got attacked by Simeon, Roman, and Balushin. We beat up Simeon. He runs away, he disappears, and now everybody thinks that we are fault. But in the forest, we encounter a devil-looking creature that tried to kill us. That's basically what happened. Actually, only once.
Ты с Семеном Бабуриным общался?
Have you talked to Simeon Baburin before?
Я знал его всего один день.
I only know him for a day.
Все знают, Петров его ненавидел.
Everyone knows that Petrov hated him. I turned red. You ugly bitch. I want to sink my teeth into Katar's face and chew out of handshake. Instead, I replied with the calmest voice I could muster.
Мы повздорили вчера.
We had a fight yesterday,
Но он первый начал.
but he started it,
Я его ударил.
so I hit him.
Сильно?
How hard did you hit him?
Да нет, так.
Not that hard, I mean. I waved my hand indecisively. Tikhonov looked at my fist as if he was surprised that I managed to hit a big kid from the photo. Surprisingly, Lila Pavlovna came to my rescue.
Бабурин проблемный подросток, с шилом кое-где.
Baburin is a troubled teen, a true pain in the rear.
Сам ко всем лез.
Always picked fights with other kids. The officer replied with a meaningful nod and fished out a notebook out of the file. Algebra.
Это твое?
Is this yours? Oh shit. I averted my gaze. It was a math notebook with my name on it. My classmates devoured my greedily with their eyes. I felt like even the writers on the portraits squinted at me in suspicious. Yes.
Моё.
В лесу нашли.
We found it in the forest.
Там же тракторист, что снег убирал в последний раз, видел Бабурина.
In the area where the tracker driver who was plowing snow there last saw Baburin. I started blinking in the bewilderment. Romka ransacked my school bag. This notebook probably just got lost somewhere in the bushes. The Lord didn't know about the school brawl, but was he aware of the fight in the forest clearing? I had witnesses that could testify to Simeona, and I walked in a different direction after that. I looked toward the boys hopefully. Romka, who sat behind Tikhonov, put a finger to his lips. And when the officer quickly turned around, he pretended to pick on his nose. I deciphered his signal. Boys like Romka would probably say something like, "Snitches got stitches" in a situation like this. I frankly fixed my glasses. Took them away yesterday, but when they are...
Так что ты делал вчера в лесу, Антон?
So what are you doing in the forest yesterday, Anton?
Я в школу через лес хожу.
I go to school through the forest.
Могла выпасть легко.
Could have easily fallen out of my bag. Easily, just like my producing this half-truth.
Будь осторожнее.
Be careful out there. Before I could realize whether it was a genuine piece of advice or a veiled threat, the teacher said,
Класс. А сейчас лейтенант расскажет о правилах, которые вам необходимо соблюдать.
"Class, the officer will now tell you about some rules you should follow."
Так маньяк все-таки есть.
So the killer does exist.
Пока мы ничего вам сказать не можем.
We can't make any of this public for now. Lucas wagged in his chair and gave me a thumbs up. Anta boy, good job, keep up and you trap shot. I nodded even though I didn't feel a shred of pride from his praises. After all, he was the one who threw my notebooks and textbooks into the snow. He was the one ordering Simeon despite changing his lines later.
Но есть преступник или нет, вы должны четко помнить о собственной безопасности.
Whether the criminals really exist or not, you should be mindful of your safety.
Вас бережет милиция. Вас опекают родители и учителя. Но в первую очередь защищать себя должны вы сами.
The police, your parents and your teachers all watch over you, but no one guard you better than yourself.
Итак, кто там что хотел узнать?
Alright, any questions? A stockade of arms rose from the desk.
А у вас оружие с собой? А покажите
The
пистолет.
kids shouted over each other, swarming the policeman with questions. In an attempt to calm down the chaos, he moved toward the blackboard. The grey file was left lying in front of me. I stared at it, breathing so ragged that if I might looked like someone who just ran a 100-meter sprint. Beads of sweat rolled down my back. I looked around the classroom. My classmates were catching off his every word. Only Romka was saying something to Bayasha. Ilya Pavilion was staring into the window, fighting back yawns.
Комендантский час при...
As soon as I touched the folder, Tikhon flashed at me with his eyes. My hand instructively moved away as if it started actually hurt. The officer just kept staring at me without saying a word, making me squeal under the weight of this uncomfortable silence and then searing look of my classmates. And then suddenly he continued his speech as if nothing ever happened.
Причин пока нет. Слишком мало времени прошло с момента исчезновения.
Nobody paid me any mind, so I slowly opened the file. My fingers started sifting through the document. Ksenia Talayeva, 6 years old, left her home sometime in December, identified features okay. My heart almost jumped in front of replication. A round-faced girl no older than Olya smiled at me from the photos. My first victim of the serial killer, the first child to disappear in the forest without a trace. Turn to another page. Vladimir Matikin, 10 years old. Oh, was second. Smitten hanging from the branches, his name called out to disparate adults and repeated by the sneering echo. The department caught trying to calm down the rowdy students. I yanked my hand away and the file closed.
Поговорим о диких животных. Как известно, в наших лицах водятся волки, медведи, лисы.
Clanging my teeth from surprise, pushed myself into the back of my chair, blinking in bewilderment. The officers silently guarded the documents and gave me a stern look.
Больно ты любопытный, Петров.
Well, aren't you a curious boy? Petrov, I'm sorry.
И еще раз.
God napping. Let me say this again.
Если вы заметите в поселке кого-то подозрительного, неважно, возле школы или на лесной тропинке, сразу сообщайте в милицию.
If you see anything suspicious in the village, be it near the school or in the forest trail, contact the police immediately.
Телефон-то знаете?
You know a number, right? 02.
Спасибо, ребята.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls.
Спасибо, Лилия Павловна.
Thank you, Lilia
И
Pavlovna.
это... Одноклассника вашего мы найдем.
And we'll find you, classmate. Yeah, right, a thought flashed through my mind. Dig through enough ditches and maybe we'll be able to piece them together. Like Legos. My thoughts turned evil for some reason and I couldn't control them. I tried to switch to the line of the and speech about suspicious individuals. What if I saw a killer before? What if I was a hair breadth away from them? Suspicious people. Suspicious was the fox girl that wandered in the darkness. A figure that always appears out of nowhere and then dissolves in the air with riddles and rhymes. Actually a good point. Could she really harm the hulking Simeon? Should I tell the officer about her? What if lives of the kids depend on this? Of the cute Xenia and Vola too? But what if I get mocked for speaking out? What if they all start whispering behind my back? Or what's even worse thing, that I'm insane? Ronko gave me a stern look over the shoulder and thought someone like him would approve of cooperating with the police. Katya's braid dangled nervously behind the delinquent sitting in front of me. My hand was glued to the desk.
До свидания, лейтенант.
Tikhovno was saying goodbye to Lilia Pavlovna. He was about to leave. It'll be too late soon. Should I? I mean, they won't believe me. Let's stay silent. No way. I've had enough of humiliation. Kept my head down like a bunny. I locked my fingers and zipped up my mouth. Quite as a mouse. The bell rang. Lilia Pavlovna passed by without looking my way. Polina left after her. My classmates went silent at some time as if somebody muted the sound on the TV. They followed me with their eyes the whole time I was passing between the rows. Judgmental looks, I felt like I was in the scope of many sniper rifles. I squeezed through the barricade made of desk looking for Polina, but instead I stumbled into my new buddies. I don't know, maybe I should have told them that I saw somebody. Romka and Bayasha were waiting for me at the notice board.
Я в тебе не ошибся, Тошик.
I was right about you, Toshik.
Пацан, не спалил, как мы чуть было свинью не забили.
You didn't rat us out, you know, as roughing up Porky.
Это повело бы милицию по ложному следу.
That would have given the police a false lead,
Наверное.
I think.
А вы точно не имеете отношения к исчезновению Семена?
Are you sure have nothing to do with poor Simon's disappearance?
Мы-то нет, а вот ты.
No, but what about you?
Помнишь, как срулил от нас в потемках?
You bailed out of darkness.
Ага, я так и говорю. Очкарик в дверь.
Yeah, it was like the poor Isis a beast.
Тебя жирного нагонит и кокнет на.
We'll catch up with the Fatson and then
Базаришь.
what he said.
Однако мы тебе верим, а ты нам?
But we believe you. Works both ways, right? Romka's stern look made me uncomfortable, so I nodded.
Вот ты славно.
Good to hear. Romka lowered his voice and looked around the corridor in suspicion. The other kids were stealing glances at us, whispering.
Что ж, Сёма пропал, это правда.
So Syoma is missing, that's a fact.
Как и факт, что не просто пропал, а скорее всего уже сдох.
Not just missing, but most likely already dead. Yasha shuddered.
А ты почем знаешь?
How do you know that?
Так
Because...
мы за это уже терли. Здесь такие случаи не впервой.
We already talked about this. It's not the first time that this happened.
Думаешь, Сенечка, Вова этот и Сёма в Нарнию попали?
Think Senichka, Vova, and Syoma went to the Narnia?
Посидят в лесу с карамелькой за щекой и назад пришлепают.
And they'll return from the forest after hanging out and sucking on some candy.
Ясно же, кто их к себе прибрал.
It's clear who got them.
Неужели черный?
Can it be the black?
Маничела!
The Syrian killer? Serial killer?
Бля, буду пацаны. Это все местные Чикатило.
Fuck guys, it's the local Chikatilo. Yeah, Chikatilo is like one of the serial killer cannibal in the Soviet Union. Assaulted and killed the last 43 people, mostly women and children. He was later deemed legally sane and sentenced to death by firing. So yeah.
Вычислить бы еще, кто он такой.
If only we could find out who he is.
Ну,
Well, the
если
killer
этот
of that
убийца
Barbarian
Бурина завалил,
will come after us
он и
too.
по нашу душу явится, отвечаю.
If it's really like a serial killer, maybe it's like the person always disappeared. Like when we were around the wall with the hangman, there was like this dude disappeared, and then in front of the skull, the dude also disappeared. Maybe it's him.
Что же делать?
What do we do now?
Вместе держаться, вот что. Втроем мы, как Вольтрон.
Stay together, that's what. The three of us are like Voltron. Voltron, an anime series about 5 teenagers that pilot robot lines that can fuse into a single mega robot to protect the universe from the forces of evil. It was aired in Russia during the 90s on channel 2.
Это... В Вольтроне их 5 было.
There were 5 of them in Voltron.
Ну, считай, мы покалеченный Вольтрон.
Well, we an injured Voltron then. He looked at me with the adult gaze and nodded. His eyes were full of worry and sadness.
Ладно, раз Сёмы больше нет, айда с нами.
Whatever, since Seymour is no longer with us, let's go.
Дело одно есть.
We have a job to do.
Постоишь для вида, покараулишь.
You'll keep watch for us.
Тебя,
Everyone
кажется,
seemed
уже
to be
боятся
scared shitless of you. Scared shitless of me? While I still couldn't wrap all that around my head, the attitude softened me up and I agreed on the spot. Followed Romka and Bayasha through the twilight corridors of school, savoring my newfound brazenness. We walked pompously like heroes of some criminal drama, as if there were 3 of us had access to some knowledge hidden from everybody else. We do actually. I'm not sure if I would go on with them if they would told me that the goal of companion was. We hid in the darkness near the school gym and my companion started rubbing their knuckles watching boys leave the dressing room. Finally, Bayasha pointed at someone inside the crowd.
Вон этот лох!
Here is that sucker. Romka smiled dangerously and proclaimed in low voice.
Стой на стреме, и если кто из училок объявится, дай знать.
If you see a teacher, let us know.
Гляди в 4 глаза.
Watch will allow for eyes.
Давай, давай!
Stood in
Ты
the
нам
corner,
должен.
filled with the conflict feelings and thoughts.
Ничего я не должен.
Ты чё, не понял?
In a cul-de-sac behind me, Romka was having a back and forth with some 5th grader.
Может, тебя на счетчик поставить, а? Ушлепок майонезный.
The boy was protesting, on the verge of tears, but Romka stood his ground, spewing countless obscenities at him, with Bayasha occasionally adding a couple of words of his own. Would Dad praise me for involving myself with this?
Все, вали давай.
Alright, no scram. 9 new friends come out of cul-de-sac. A light bulb illuminated the camera, Romka said.
Ого, полароид.
Wow, a Polaroid is it this? Romka shook the black electronics marvel with a retractable flash and disinterested.
Теперь мой.
It is now.
Мне тут один должник велик торчал за свой гнилой базар.
There was this guy who owned me a bike for talking shit.
Но, говорит, нет у него велосипеда.
Turned out he didn't have one,
Вот и расплатился фотиком.
so he paid with a cam.
А мне он, честно говоря, в хер не впился.
And I have jack shit use for it. Felt bad for that boy, but all the negative thoughts disappeared when I looked at the treasure camera. Could clearly imagine how happy Oля would be with this Polaroid. I imagined myself taking pictures of my sister and dad and mom. The faces of my family would gradually appear on the hard paper as emerging from the dissolving mist. I take this picture of Polina too, that way I'd be able to get the photos for myself. Kinda creepy. I'd keep it in my desk, under the locker and key.
Раз он тебе не нужен, можешь мне его отдать?
If you don't need it, can I get it? Roma measured me with a sharp glare, turning into Romka. I'd met yesterday. The college leader and the Cornelius Park.
Ты извини, братан, но я вещами просто так не разбрасываюсь.
Sorry, bro, but I don't throw away things like that.
Могу в ломбард загнать, ну или разыграть во что-нибудь.
I can drop it in a pawn shop or bet it in some game. For some reason, as soon as you mentioned the game, I remember Alisa. I looked at the Polaroid.
Ну давай я с тобой на него сыграю. Только во что?
Well, let's play for it then. Do you have a game in mind? Treasure sneaked into his fist.
Чаром! Снимем с нас у Антошки последние штаны.
Yo, Romka, shall we make Antoshka lose his shirt?
Я тебе что, пидор с пацанов штаны снимать?
Do I look like someone who would strip on a dude to you? Romka stared at me from above.
На что играть собрался?
What do you have to bet? What do you have to bet?
У тебя хоть бабки есть?
Do you even have cash?
Во-во! Свети карманы, Тофик!
That's right, what's in your pockets, Toshik? Slowly turned in the pockets of my pants and I out into vain hopes of salvaging at least some change from my lunch money. Something rustled in the pocket. Fished out the Mercedes-Benz insert I got thanks to Alisa. I guess I shot in there without thinking when it flew out of my school bag with all the notebooks.
А на вкладыше играете?
Will you play for this insert? Her eyes almost popped off the sockets as soon as I brought the car's picture closer, but Romka didn't move a muscle.
Хочешь, чтобы я целый фотик за какой-то там фантик отдал?
Want me to bet a whole came for some insert?
Это
That's...
Да жвачки это рубль цена, а в полароиде кассета еще целая.
This gummy is worth 1 ruble and this Polaroid has a fresh cartridge inside.
Да это да!
Look, that's...
Ой, у меня таких вкладышей жопой жуй, на кой мне еще?
I have a shit ton of this insert like that. Why would I want?
Мерседес-Бенц, на! Его-то нам и не хватало, Ромыч!
Mercedes-Benz, that one we're still missing, Romka.
Фу, блин.
Romka spit out on the ground and slapped Paisha over the back of his head.
Ну ты и трепло, братка. Теперь он за него цену до небес взвинтит.
Why can't you keep your mouth shut? No, he'll jack up the price. It's like I suspected. This automobile was a valuable addition for every turbo gum collector.
Ага, значит, появился интерес?
Aha, so this caught your eye after all.
Так во что будем играть?
What are we gonna play?
В подкидного!
Did you do work?
В ножички?
Mumbled Peck. In a blink of an eye, a greasy deck of most likely marked cards appeared in Bayasha's hands, and Romka masterfully swung his butterfly knife in front of my nose. I had no desire to play by their rules.
А давайте в камень-ножницы.
Let's play rock, paper, scissors.
О, а ты
I
у нас
see.
любишь рисковать.
You're a gambler.
Ну что, мой полароид против твоего Мерса?
Ooh. That sounds fun. Alright, my Polaroid against your Mercedes.
По рукам.
Deal. Let's go with stone.
Есть!
Yes. I raise my fist towards the ceiling and throw.
Стопэ, стопэ. У нас принято до 3 побед играть.
Okay, best of 5 here.
А раньше сказать.
We didn't say that earlier.
Ты думал, все так просто будет, на?
Did you think that beat as easy? Eh?
Не пойму, а чё ты хмуришься так?
Okay, let's save again. So he used rock, right? What will the pointing face you already? No, I am. Who am I? Adventures here.
Давай-ка продолжим.
Let's continue.
Раз, два, три.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Yes. He got paper. We're gonna go rock. Oh shit. I'm gonna paper. Okay. I looked at my opponent with suspicion.
Ну, я выиграл. Или
do I
теперь мне
win?
нужно еще и Бяшу обыграть?
Or do I need to beat Biasha too? Ronka mumbled something under his breath. He'd probably refuse to play by the rules and I'll be left with nothing.
Эй, Ромыч, все по чесноку, на!
He won fair and square, eh? Ronka reluctantly gave up. Humbled in victory.
Везучий ты,
You
сука.
unlucky
Держи.
bastard here.
Только писюн свой не фоткай.
Just don't take pictures of your wiener. I weighted the Polaroid in my palms and realized that I was marking like a true winner. Oh, yo. It's been 7 days since the lieutenant visited our class. Lieutenant? At first glance, everything was still in the same. The force still held out Gnali's claws towards the village, and the wind whipped and white flags waved from powdery snow every night. When my parents arrived in the other room, I would turn the TV volume to silence the muffled voices and sit close to Olya. Bobas and Simeon's photos were still 2 black spots on the notice board of round-faced Sanya, who hasn't returned home to Senya. Something did change. I could see how different the looks of my classmates were. They made my pockets bulge with gifted apples. And mostly was gone. School wasn't scary anymore. But most importantly, shadows slid across my desk, leaving behind a mysterious note. I glanced into the space between rows, and by the messages was already nowhere to be found. Who sent me this note? What could this carefully ripped out and neatly folded piece of paper hiding from me? More threats or humiliation? Or I took the piece of paper and carefully inhaled the wafting aroma. Blackberry. I'll be waiting to glue this far near the dressing room. Come alone. That was a message, a beautiful handwriting. I'm waiting at that end near the dressing room. Come alone. Drunk on the sudden call, I immediately started looking over my shoulder from time to time, making sure nobody is following me. I didn't even notice how I almost broke into a run, jumped around the corner. As soon as I did it, I rammed into somebody inside the dark nook. Oh! Like magic bird, a green notebook glided to my feet. Полина puffed her cheeks in exaggerated anger.
Петров! Да ты совсем зрение потерял.
Petrov, have you lost your sight completely? I fixed my glasses, my nearsightedness wasn't that embarrassing anymore. I bent down and picked up the notebook.
Прости, я так торопился. Ты меня ждала? Что случилось?
Sorry, I wasn't in a rush. Were you waiting for me? Did something happen? Polina studied me with her eyes and clinked her tongue.
А знаешь, на что ты похож, Антоша?
Do you know what you look like, Antosha? Bunny.
На блюзовую импровизацию.
Ah, okay. Like a blues improv. Blinked in bewilderment.
Это как?
What do you mean?
Для меня все люди с чем-то ассоциируются.
I always associate people I know with something.
И для меня.
I do that
С музыкой же.
too, but why music?
Вот как раз с музыкой.
It can't be anything other than music.
Бывают люди гитарные соло. Или барабанный бой. Или военный марш, как наша Лилия Павловна.
Some people are like guitar solos, some are drums. People like Lilia Pavlovna are warmasters.
А ты такой задумчивый, таинственный, иногда немного печальный.
You're so thoughtful, so mysterious, sometimes even a bit sad.
Ты точно блюз.
You're definitely blues.
А почему импровизация?
And what about the improv part?
А это когда слушатель не догадывается, куда свернет мелодия, какой темп возьмет.
It's when the listener has no idea where the melody will go and what tempo it will adopt. Of course, some of the things Polina said were completely over my head, but couldn't stop looking at her smile lightning like a breeze in May and her eyes deep and blue.
Чтобы распознать в тебе музыку, нужен опыт и вкус.
One needs to have experience and taste to recognize the music in you.
Это не какая-то там эстрада.
You're not some pop music.
Я, наверное, вообще не знаю, что такое этот блюз.
I don't think you even know what blues is. Polina gasped in front, which made her look even more beautiful.
Не произноси при мне такие слова.
Don't say something like that
Обязательно дам
to my
кассету.
face. I'll make sure to give you a cassette.
Раньше мне дедушка из города столько музыки привозил. И джаз, и свинг, и классику.
Grandpa used to bring me so much music from the city, jazz, swing, classical too.
Это Он подметил, что у меня склад ума, как у музыканта.
He was the one to notice my musical mindset.
Я еще совсем маленькой пыталась на бумаге записать звуки природы.
When I was
Шумя
still
дождя,
very
леса.
When I was still very little, I tried to record the sound of nature on paper, the song of the rain and the forest.
Эх, мне бы твои уши.
I wish I had ears like yours.
А мне бы твои глаза.
I'd love to have your eyes. And some worried that she was making fun of me, but Polina shook her head.
Да-да, я серьезно. У тебя глаза художника.
No, I'm serious. You have the eyes of an artist.
Смотришь на вещи и фиксируешь их.
You're
Я
so
так не
good at
умею.
picturing things. I can't do that. Katya walked past us with her trademark frosty glare. We dove into shadows, trying to escape it.
Теперь понимаешь, почему мы тут прячемся? Вот из-за таких, как она.
You understand why we are hiding here, right? Because of people like her.
А Катька какая мелодия.
What kind of melody is Katya? Polina flashed me a sly smile.
Скрип несмазанных дверных петель.
Squeaking sound of oil door hinges. Damn, that's crazy.
Знаешь, такой мерзкий дискант.
No, this nasty discount. A giggle covered my mouth. Katya didn't hear our whispers, but she suddenly glanced over her shoulder, clearly annoyed. A moment later, she sighed and went her way. Bum, bum, bum. I remembered about the note, but I was still clenching in my head. I turned to my hands. Morozova. Instead of the subject name, the front side had the name of the owner and two words, friends only.
Любопытной Варваре кое-что оторвали.
Curiosity killed the cat, you know?
Прости, это анкета?
I'm sorry, is this a questionnaire?
Заполнял когда-нибудь?
You ever filled one?
Угу.
I lied that I had. Rarely girl classmates from my previous school had never asked me to fill the questionnaire. It was quite upsetting. I mean, it was a girl hobby. You just answered a set of standard questions about your favorite actors, colors, but entrusting someone with such a notebook was a sign of friendship. Maybe even something more, or something I only had a vague idea about.
Хочешь, заполни мою.
You can fill in mine if you want. My heartbeat quickened.
Хочу,
I do.
спасибо.
Thank you. Polina giggled.
А хотя, там же столько секретов.
Actually, there are so many secrets there.
Наверное, лучше тебе не знать, о чем мы, девочки, думаем.
It'd be better of not knowing what we girls think. As I reached for the notebook playing with me, I tossed my finding into my free hand. Polina tried to intercept my move. Her hair briefly touched my face, tinkling my nose with a silky lock. I sensed an aroma that immediately filled the whole world, fragment, alluring lively. If only could picture it, steal it for myself. But dizzy, but I gathered myself and spoke in a voice reminiscent of Lieutenant Tikhonov.
Ваша анкета является важнейшей уликой, и я вынужден временно изъять ее для изучения.
Your questionnaire is an important piece of evidence, so I'm afraid I have to confiscate it for further examination. Polina covered her mouth around it in a fake horror.
И что мне грозит за сокрытие улик?
And what are the implications of concealing evidence?
Следствие покажет.
We'll decide that in the course of our investigation.
Сдаюсь, товарищ милиционер.
I surrender, Mr. Policeman.
Только обещайте ничего не читать.
Just promise you won't read anything.
Здесь содержатся секретные сведения.
It's full of sensitive information.
Боюсь, что мне все-таки придется выяснить, не влюблен ли кто в гражданина Петрова.
I'm afraid I'll have to investigate whether someone is in love with Mr. Petrov. Polina burst off laughing and pressed herself against my chest, showering me with the aroma of her hair and her milky skin, a look almost transparent with tiny threads of veins running under it. Her whisper was hot like a piece of butter sizzling on pan.
Тогда поклянитесь клянетесь, что не станете разглашать информацию.
Then swear that you will keep the information private.
Честная милицейская.
That's where my police badge.
А теперь, Антоша, самое время поторопиться.
And now we need to hurry, Antosha. Damn! Took out the notebook during class. Damn! Damn, that's funny. That's a cool thing. But I feel like we should stop it here for now and continue next time. For sure. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun game. Something different. I usually don't play like horror games, but this time it's fun. And it was fun and scary. Like, I like the story. I don't really know exactly what's going on most of the time, but it's okay. Nobody does. I'm like thinking to myself, maybe it has something to do like with the stress level that we have. Maybe it's some really magical shit going on. It's hard to tell. But we will find it out sooner or later. Probably later. But yeah, I really enjoy it. Even though it's a lot of reading, I still have fun with it. And I hope you also have fun with it. Like I do. Yeah. Fun little stream. Fun little stream. Anyways, I hope you had fun, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good one. Oops. Have a good one. Bye bye, my friends.